Oh my
And that's
gosh.
the anatomy of Jigglypuff.
Yep. Yep. What that mouth do? Anyways.
Can certainly sing.
Yeah. We're back with no, we're welcome back everybody. Um Spur of the moment kind of thing. We are doing yet another Tony G response. What can I say? The man's a treasure trove of bad content.
I like how you put that pause of "we are" as if like you were expecting me. Like, are you want me to finish that sentence? What's going on there?
No. Um but yeah, we're doing this, just classic stuff. It's just me and Wyatt. Maybe hopefully some other people will join, but you know what? We're gonna we're gonna do what we normally do. All right, Tony,
Look at
take it
butts.
away. Take it away. Also, let's not try and bring up the Oddly Noah stuff with him.
Oh well, yeah, because this
Yeah.
video was like what years before that happened.
Not a couple several months, but no, it's no just because it's like, you know, we want to keep our criticisms specifically to this, unless he says something that requires it to be brought up, which I don't know if we will. But
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
like
we so in
he's
case
definitely
you're
done himself no favors to be
no.
fair.
No, and to be fair, you don't need to bring up the Utterly Noah stuff to know that Tony is a lying piece of shit that throws people under the bus when they're no longer useful to him. But all right, let's get started. Now, granted, this is not an hour. This is not an hour plus long. This is still it's still like 40 minutes. But you know, for a Tony G video, that's actually not that bad. So
Yeah, it's not bad.
let's get on it.
For some stories,
Ow,
the
that's
plot,
loud.
it doesn't really matter. A lot of folks on the internet will argue that the plot is
See that I are like he'll get his opening point, but I actually just don't agree with that in general. Like sometimes the plot doesn't matter. It's like I mean, like for video games, I could certainly argue that because sometimes like you just want to play a video game and not really worry about like all the narrative stuff. But in terms of a movie, plot's kind of the only reason we're there
Well, the
for a
plot,
good chunk of it.
like yeah, the characters are like the heart of the story, and great character work can save a terrible plot. But also at the end of the day, if your plot's garbage, your plot is garbage, and that's like at least half the reason you watch the movie. Like
Exactly.
if there's no if cause and effect is completely fucked, the connective tissue is broken between these events, then it's like you got some cool characters, sure, but like you know everything else around it is just awful.
Exactly.
the plot is the most crucial element to a story's success. And in fairness, they're often not wrong. For a lot of people, James Cameron's Avatar disappointed them back in 2009 because the plot was derivative. And it was very derivative. Cameron spent years planning the world of Pandora, and his script, while also finely crafted by his own standards, ultimately served more as an excuse to explore the spectacle of the world he made.
Which is really weird because this is the same guy who made Aliens and Terminator 2 and The Abyss. Right?
Yeah, he's got the writing chops. He always has. In fact, like there's always the famous pitch of like how he got the funding for Aliens, and if like have you heard this story?
Yeah, isn't it like, you know, he wrote down Alien and then he put an S at the end and just like pointed to it, right?
Yeah, you could literally do the Vince McMahon meme where it's like, "Hello, I'm James Cameron," and then he just starts writing down the word alien. You with me so far? S. Then they just start throwing handfuls of $100 bills at him.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, no, the first Avatar movie, it's really funny how like it's the best one. Which
Which isn't saying fucking much, man.
no, it's not, but like it again, calling it Dances with Smurfs is just is a factually correct statement. It is just Dances with Wolves but with Smurfs.
I mean, yeah, there's no lie there.
Yeah.
an avenue through which you can see the ins and mechanics of how everything worked.
For the 4 Avatar sequels, James decided to put together a writer's room. And before they even started brainstorming, he handed each...
All right, now we're kind of going into the Tony-tisms here. Using Avatar as an example is a good one. The plot is derivative and not particularly well written. Again, unobtainium. But why do we need to go any further than that? Why are we wasting time with this? This doesn't seem particularly important.
I mean, to be fair, for some reason they've decided they're gonna make like 16 more of these films.
Yeah, but like, why? For the purpose of this video, what is the point of just like bringing up like, oh, here's James Cameron's writing process? What does that matter if to the overall video? What you need to do, what you should do is like, you know, people are not necessarily wrong. James Cameron's Avatar, as an example of criticism of the plot, fair enough. That's good. You know, that's something that we can all agree on. But I don't know why we would need to like go into the writing process. Like, I guess it might connect into an overall point, but again, this is an Anthony Gramuglia video, so probably not.
Writer a 1,400-page document of every little detail he'd uncovered about the world.
Jesus Christ!
The detail was...
Then that shit ain't fucking showing up.
Yeah, like 1,400-page document. That's something you'd see in like a manuscript for like a Warhammer like codex.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't fucking see that in the movie at all.
No.
So granular that he even outlined the exact type of bolts used on the spaceships.
So when the follow-up The Way of Water came out a decade later, a lot of folks, myself included, suspected that no one would care about Avatar, especially when other sci-fi worlds existed alongside it. After all, by this point, we had tons of imaginative sci-fi worlds that pushed the boundaries of special effects. After Avatar, we had the MCU, the new Star Wars films, Lord of the Rings was back, Game of Thrones was back. We had tons and tons of...
Like I always said, science fiction, and then a good chunk of that was fantasy.
Yeah, and also Lord of the Rings was back. I mean, like, I guess like the Hobbit movies, to be fair, but like the Hobbit movies kind of came and went.
Yeah, to the point that if I told you like you've got a gun to your head, give me the entire plot of Battle of the Five Armies. No, not even Battle of Five Armies, because it's too easy. Desolation of Smaug. And like
I am
probably
fire,
wouldn't be able
I
to
am
do
death.
it. That's a line from the movie. What else happened to it? Which is like there's
I don't
a
know.
lot of
Bilbo
from the book.
There was Bilbo and Smaug that had good segments. That's all you need to know. No one cares
Sure.
about fucking Dracula and his children or whatever the fuck the guy's name was that played Dracula Untold.
Oh, Luke Evans.
Yeah, Luke Evans.
Who played the Bard.
Yes. Also, is this
Films that were
Megalon?
available on the small screen and big screen.
Okay, that was a fan film from YouTube, but to be fair, yeah, I guess that does connect to his point.
Pushed the boundary. Now, are even half of these movies any good?
Okay.
Okay.
No, of course not. What good was spectacle when everyone could produce spectacle? Avatar continues to be a behemoth, despite neither film having all that much of a nuanced or compelling plot.
Oh, this must have been before the third one came out.
Oh yeah, like that one I already figured out because like he would go even further. It's like, oh, and then they made a third one, and then he probably would have continued his laughing, because that's how I feel. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. These movies keep getting made, and people keep seeing them.
To be fair, the last
Despite
one
the
made
fact that there's-
significantly less money.
But it's like, yeah, that's fair, but it's not like, is it a Last Jedi, not Last Jedi, a Rise of Skywalker argument where it made like significantly less than its predecessor. Because remember, Tross made like half of
TFA.
half of Force Awakens, like box office.
I don't think it didn't cross the 2 billion mark though. At least I don't think it did. But I might need to double check. But it did make less money than the other two.
Or even good characters, or any character you can name. No one cares about Jake Sully, but everyone remembers those floating islands and alien dragons they ride on. This is
And how they use their tentacles to have sex with the dragons.
No one like so. Okay, yeah, people don't really think about that. Not to mention the like most of the environment of Pandora has been forgotten about. Remember, I played a little bit of Frontiers of Pandora when I had that Ubisoft Plus subscription for a little bit, and we were just walking around. It's like, man, Pandora is, I guess, a lot less hostile nowadays. Because remember, the Quaritch's whole thing of like everything in this planet wants to eat you alive and turn you into jujubes.
Turn you into jujubes.
is the result of Avatar being neither a plot-driven story nor a story whose selling point is its plot. These are two separate concepts that you don't want to confuse, because a story driven by plot is one where events derive narrative. A story whose main selling point is its plot is one where the audience goes to see the film or show or read the book, whatever, to see what happens in the story in terms of events.
What's in the fucking box?
The mystery, the thrills. Both of these are complex ideas with a lot of nuance. And if you find yourself going, well, people still want to see what happens in the story, such as Zoe and this and that. Yes, you're right. People do. This isn't an all or nothing game. It's a nuanced discussion. There's a spectrum here. Some movies are more plot driven, some are less plot driven.
Okay. I mean, I don't really have much in terms of beef so far, do you?
Yeah, that's kind of just a given. Like, I'm waiting for him to make like a more substantial point where he brought up Force Awakens a good chunk with his clips. I'm like, come on, say it. Say the plot of Force Awakens doesn't matter. What matters is just Star Wars is back. Come on.
Because we're going to be talking a lot about plot here.
I hear this.
What is a plot, and how is it different from a story? They often use interchangeably.
What? All right.
I mean, there is. I think there is like a technical difference. People do use them interchangeably, but I think there is a difference between them. But like, I mean, I guess if we want to figure out why plot doesn't matter at times, we should define our terms. I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, to the common man, just saying like plot and story, like for the most part, they're the same thing to normies. So that's why I'm fine with keeping them like relatively similar in terms of terms.
Yeah, it's become kind of a synonym in a way. Oh, sorry, I'm just adjusting my microphone. There we go.
You're fine.
But they're not the same. A story, of course, is an account of people or events, possibly fictitious, that serve to entertain. By that distinction, a plot is the sequence of events that occur in a story. So a plot is a component of the storytelling process, but it is not the entire story. It does not account for characters, and does not often account for spectacle.
I guess, sure.
No, I hardcore disagree. The plot can totally account for spectacle, because more than likely your spectacle and set pieces are part of the plot. Like,
oh yeah, true.
Literally, what's literally happening right here is all the Fremen and Paul Atreides' forces are all riding fucking sandworms after setting off atomics. This is a spectacle that is part of the plot.
Yep.
There are other pieces here. Characterization and entertainment value.
Sorry, just that
entertainment
frame.
value is Oh God, yeah, that is. Hey Wong. No, but like I guess entertainment value, that's just subjective. Like
Well,
some people
yeah.
find things way more entertaining. Like I like, despite like all their flaws. Like for example, I'm literally, well, not right this very second, but if you last night we were playing a little bit of 007 Last Light.
First Light.
It's not the great. It's not that. Yeah, I keep wanting to say Last Light because so many other games are called Last Light that I say it by accident by this point. But it's like the plot of that isn't that great. But 007's always been like a guilty pleasure.
Well, yeah, I mean, he played a clip of it like just previously at Godzilla Final Wars, which we need to show. We need to show that to Max. We need to show that to Anaya. We need to show that to Asa, to Lion, to everybody.
Oh yeah, it is a sight to behold.
Yeah, when Sum 41 starts playing, it's like, oh wow, that's.
Yeah, especially when Godzilla fights Godzilla.
You mean Zilla?
No, I was hoping to trigger you.
No, they literally bought the likeness rights and renamed it.
Yeah, just so they can have Godzilla kill it.
Exactly.
Plot-driven story is a narrative that is primarily driven by the events in the story. It does.
But that's all stories though. Even more character-driven ones, they're still heavily driven by external events. Like unless it's literally the two people in a room kind of story. Like that's certainly an exception, but
allows some wiggle room, of course.
Go on.
Yes.
Okay.
Where some films are mostly driven by the events of a story and others are less so. Meanwhile, a character-driven...
Wait, how is Cujo not driven by the events of the story? The events of the story happen because of Cujo and his rabies.
Also, I guess I see the Stand has made an appearance, which means Max is sure to follow.
Oh boy. Oh man. Brother, we're doing a recording. Do you want do you want in? It's Anthony Gramuglia.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Post a link to the watch together in the chat.
I just see a bunch of trays and stuff. What is this?
I don't know.
Well, that was when we were talking about like his design like way earlier because you decided to paint your Space Marine to look like him, and I was like, and you're like, he's got a teal chest. And I was like, I haven't seen a teal chest in any of the art he's in.
Just colorblind.
Come on.
Jacob, there's
Yeah, I'm
no
color.
link in here.
I know. I'm trying to like get out of this. Here we
Just
go.
look at the chat. There's not.
Sorry.
Well, it's also in the other chat if you want
It's-
to just quickly grab it from there.
No, I got it. Hold on.
I will disassociate for a moment. Jake's so good at streaming. It's hard to believe he's vegan.
Oh boy, I posted it and I posted it in the booth chat. There. All right, cool.
I've been thinking about that. It's like it's hard to believe he's vegan.
It's hard to believe he's vegan.
All right, cool.
I'll have a whiskey sour, but without the egg because I'm vegan.
All right, we're all here. So this is
What are we doing? Like who are we?
His whole is basically the thing is plot doesn't matter.
Sometimes plot doesn't matter. Yeah, we should be fair. So far he hasn't really said anything like super duper egregious. He's like still
We're in
trying
the
to
defining our terms phase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what terms is he defining them?
He has defined the difference between plot and story.
Okay.
And
so what is that?
Story is the overall like through line, whereas plot is the events that take place in the story.
Oh wow, I can't
That's-
believe that the ads on freaking Watch Together just play by themselves now.
Oh, you're
Oh.
still getting
That's
Okay.
crazy.
like the ads on
Anyway.
the side.
Yes, the ads on the side played in full volume. Although we are getting a teaser for Tal in Warframe, so that's kind of cool.
I had that happen when
I haven't.
during like a previous one. The ads just kept playing on the side for whatever fucking reason. It was so awful. And I just, but yeah. So that's sort of that is the difference. The plot doesn't factor in things like character and spectacle, according to him, but story does. And it's like, I mean, but the plot can do that, but it's.
Let's say wait, say that one more time. You're saying that plot cannot. He's saying that plot cannot.
He's saying like plot cannot account for spectacle, which I thoroughly disagree with, because like for the example that he showed was Dune, when all the sandworms come in after the atomics are set off. But another example would be, let's say, the minigun section from Terminator 2, where it literally shows like the character development of the T-800 while also giving us a spectacle of Arnold firing a fucking minigun, which would have been in Cameron's notes when he's writing the plot. In parentheses, Arnold fires minigun and it looks awesome.
I'm just curious, like, what the example of that would be, because like, does Endgame count?
I mean.
It would have to be,
Yeah.
Portals open, rest of heroes come in. Like it's just
Yes,
it's inherently written.
Showed up. Like that's the thing, is that the heroes are script-wise. Heroes show up to help stop Thanos, and what we get is one of the most iconic scenes in cinematic history. So
Yes.
like, I'm confused. I'm like, what like that actually means? It sounds like he's just saying a bunch of gobbledygook.
Yeah, because
You know why? It's because he like
Because he is
Gramuglia's whole thing, because we have a tendency to bring up films like, say, The Last Jedi or something, where we bring up how the plot is nonsense. He would go, "Well, plot doesn't matter in this case." It's like, but it does.
But no. According to his own logic, the plot would matter as well, I believe. Because remember, we watched that awful video.
Yeah,
because
he's. Yeah, of course, because the problem with Anthony Gramuglia is that he circles on his own points constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his point doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Because like aside from that, it hasn't been awful. Maybe a little time wasty, but it's like meh.
Give it time. I'm sure it'd be awful.
Yeah. It's Tony G.
Give it
Driven
time.
story is a story driven by character and characterization. Often, this means the story is more focused on the emotional journey the characters go on, rather than the external events of the plot. This emotional journey, in turn...
But the character's journey is affected by the external events of the plot.
No, I think what he's trying to say is that, like the idea of, like, it's more of a character. Well, here's the thing. I'm strongmanning this argument, even though I'm pretty sure this isn't it. But the idea of, like, the character being the plot, as in, like, basically like a data life kind of thing, and, like, you can also extrapolate this to other things. Whereas, like, Luke Skywalker kind of just wants to go save the princess and also get off the planet. And then he's being pushed by the events of being trapped by the Death Star, like being in there, wants to be the pilot and going.
Yeah,
in
the
events.
belly
Like,
of the whale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the thing. Like, he wants to just go on this adventure, and this adventure basically consumes him.
Okay. All right.
Well,
fair
not,
enough.
you know what I mean? Not like consuming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. No,
There's
no,
a-
it just
there's a-
consumes
No,
him
the more-
more.
Some, like,
I like
some,
to imagine a
decapitated
more
head of,
literal-
like an angel that he has to shoot with a shotgun.
Yeah,
I like to imagine a more literal interpretation of the Death Star is that the like Pac-Man, the two ends just open up at the middle, is like, and then just swallows the Falcon. Oh shit, we gotta get out of here.
We gotta get out of here.
It's fucking Pac-Man.
drives the events that transpire, often as a vehicle to further focus on character. Most stories are a balance between plot and character, so obviously most stories are partially plot-driven and partially character-driven. Sometimes a story swings between being more character-driven to more plot-driven and vice versa, depending on how far in the script we are. The typical three-act
Sure.
structure of a film often
Yeah,
starts
see, like,
exactly with
yeah,
a more
that's exactly what I said.
character-driven narrative before transitioning into a more plot-driven narrative, with key moments where characters take the wheel.
Did I watch this video?
Blake Snyder's famous Save the Cat, a guidebook on writing
That was
screenplays,
weird.
organizes it.
Oh
as
yeah,
such.
save the cat.
In the
being
setup,
mentioned.
we introduce the story. We have an opening image that establishes the themes and ideas of the plot, but then we transition right into the character. We see what their life is like outside of work, at play, at home, etc. We find out what they want and what they need in order to become better people, and how these two conflicts, the want and need, might intersect, overlap, or contradict each other. Around 23% into the script, we enter into Act 2 with some event that inverses the main character's world, causes conflict, turns things on its head.
So going to interrupt him only slightly. Like, the only thing I will kind of disagree with is Act 2 is not Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru dying. Act 2 is entering the Death Star, whereas Act 3 is, of course, the attack and trying to destroy the trench run, essentially. Like, to say that the Act 2 is this early.
He's not good at stating like facts and things that are correct, so you got to kind of give him a little bit of grace.
Yeah, exactly.
Put Star Wars in front of me, I'm immediately just gonna go, what are you fucking doing, man?
Actually, in
like if
the
somebody
2003 special edition, you can see Luke's
It'd be like
bulge in his black
It'd be like
tiny
if,
whitey.
Cock, and here is his chicken.
It'd be like if he said Act 3 was the assault on Jabba's sail barge. It's like, we're only like half an hour into the film. We're not in Act 3 yet.
Act 3 is when Darth Vader says no,
and then he does a backflip because he can do that now.
And snaps the bad guy's neck, saves the day.
I'm going to do a backflip now. Flip sure.
Keep doing that. Keep giving money. Okay, what if all of the guys from last stories did a team up? Oh my god, take them. I love that
This
video.
guy's some money.
God, yeah. Oh, alrighty then. I mean, I guess we continue. I don't really have that much to say so far.
Well, yeah, because he hasn't really made a point. He's just stating the thesis of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing his overall thing.
From there, we enter into more plot-driven narratives, enacting the fun and games that audiences kind of came to the film expecting. At the midpoint, we have a transition. The bad guys start closing in to some extent. This culminates in the all is lost moment, the dark night of the soul, where the plot and characters both in turn feel at their lowest. The external conflict is pushing against the main characters, and the main character might be struggling internally against some internal problem. Perhaps their wants and needs are farther away than they could ever hope to have them. Or perhaps they got what they wanted, but in turn lost what they needed. And in this sense, we transition into Act 3, at 77% of the way through the script, where we have the confrontations. We have the gathering of the team, the making of the plans, the executing of the plans, the surprise in the high tower, the final confrontation with the antagonists, the deep emotional dig down into the heart, and finally an execution of something that works. If something went south before, now it goes north. And we close on an image that encapsulates the entire point of the narrative. In Blake Snyder's traditional structure, we have moments of character and moments of external plot that intersect and satisfyingly conclude.
Okay, Tony, please back away from your mic. I can hear your tongue. Like,
It's kind of literally just Sparky Doki from Cowboy Bebop or something. It's like I did like hearing the guy's like mouth as if he pulling back from the harmonica. Here I do not.
yeah, like please just pull back just a little bit from the mic, man. I don't want to hear the cauldron that's going on, man.
I think a very explicit example of this are the MCU films, where we are introduced to the character and their struggles in Act 1, before transitioning to the core external conflict in Acts 2 and 3, with key character moments anchoring plot and character together, kind of fusing the two. For example, Captain America Winter Soldier. Act 1 is character-driven, with Cap feeling disconnected from the present day, anchored to his own past, finding that things are out of sync with what he remembers, seeing the government is not what he thought it once was, and the beliefs he once held true no longer apply in the modern era. But the plot comes in with the mysterious Hydra conspiracy and the existence of the Winter Soldier. The investigation plot drives the narrative in Acts 2 into 3.
What Cap wants is to find some semblance of the world he left behind in the modern day.
Okay, if you're gonna go in and post record, please don't make it that obvious.
Oh, you heard it too.
Yeah. Okay. God damn it, Tony.
What Cap needs, though, is to bring those sensibilities to the modern era. And these both are intersecting but interconnected conflicts.
But it's the conflict Cap feels both towards his own loss of the old world, and the conflict he has with the government is anchored by Bucky, serving as a commonality between both the events of the external plot and the internal character conflicts. In this sense, conflict drives narrative, but not all conflict is plot.
Character-driven stories often tie external plots so closely to character conflicts, it's impossible to separate the two. For example, A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. It's a fantasy novel about a young wizard named Ged, who conjures a shadowy entity during his studies, accidentally, while essentially trying to just show off to his peers. Ambition and pride drive us to this point, not external conflict.
Okay, could you have like pulled something that's a bit more familiar? Like you don't have to go super
how well read he is, dude.
You don't have to do something super duper mainstream or whatever. But
I was going to say that's what that point of like it's showing how well read he is has always kind of pissed me off because it's like, oh, so you're an asshole. Like,
No, he's well read. Come on, dude.
Like this would be me like trying to like do something about like, I don't know, nature of revenge and all, and like what instead of like doing something like, I don't know, Conan the Barbarian or just like any kind of other like revenge story, I pull out fucking the Night Angel, like the fucking first book of the Night Angel series, and it's like, who the fuck else has read that?
Yeah.
Like,
Or like if I'm talking about like AI and like media, and I bring out like this little indie thing that nobody knows about called like the Amazing Digital Circus, you know, like nobody would get that.
Or one of the things that he brought up, remember when we were talking about his Star Wars video, he just went on this out of nowhere 45-minute rant about King Lear.
yeah, it goes. Well, the thing is, the video was originally going to be about King Lear, and instead of making a video about King Lear, or taking the King Lear portion out and saving it for another video, so he had two video ideas, he decided to merge them together into one, and it's like, no one gives a shit. So, you know, that's why we skipped it.
Exactly, because no one cares.
Yeah. We're about a quarter of the way through the video, and we're still setting up the thesis here.
And from here,
He'll probably give us
the
more
external
later.
conflict of the story
Maybe.
becomes that of Ged trying to stop this entity, now under the moniker Sparrowhawk. He's trying to restrict the damages caused by his actions. And the resolution is
Mega
accepting
sad.
that this shadow is an aspect of himself. External conflict resolved purely by internal growth. Persona 4 fans probably recognize this plot structure very well. Other times, stories defy this convention by doing the reverse Save the Cat structure. Neon Genesis Evangelion, for example, starts as a plot-driven series, with the angel invasion driving conflict. The first half of the show is what you would normally associate with Act 2's fun and games, the fun section of the plot, the thing you came to see, action, adventure. However, while characters are established and developed, the early episodes decentralize character conflicts in favor of them addressing the external conflicts. Along the way, we see the beginnings of characterization conflicts here.
All right, so I think it's safe to say I can comment on something now. So sometimes plot doesn't matter, but even in these instances where plot is less of a focus, plot still matters. Like you're not.
Yeah, because again, otherwise, what are we here for if not for just blind visuals? And if that's the case, I'd rather just watch I could just look at, instead of like actually watching the show, I could have just pulled up a fight scene on YouTube.
Well, yeah, because like even like heavily character-driven stories, there's still connective tissues. There's still events to get from point A to point B to point C that still need to be coherent. And like,
yeah, nobody is a perfect example of this because like, could you imagine how just jarring it would have been if?
Be a perfect example of this.
Where imagine, so could you imagine how out of place it would look if the movie just started essentially at the bus scene? Like, I'm sure there's some people that would get some catharsis out of it just watching mindless violence, but it works better because we know that it's essentially the final outlet for Hutch to basically relieve some stress.
Yeah.
I'm thankful now I'm back. That's what he said in that movie.
It has been a hot minute since I've even like watched anything Evangelion related, so I can't really even say what he's saying is right or wrong.
I've never seen Evangelion still.
It's about this little kid who used to be in this like world where he had like basically use a drill to get in and out of this area, and then he eventually goes to space and fights a mecha guy.
The only thing I know is the get in the goddamn mech, Shinji.
Yeah, but that's a meme.
That's how media. So.
Yeah, but and also don't forget how in the end of Evangelion he jerks off to Asuka's unconscious body.
Don't know.
Whatever you say.
We learn what the characters want and need, but they don't play into the plot just yet. However, in the second half of Evangelion, the story shifts. The character conflicts that were on the margins up until now take center stage. The angels become vehicles through which we can explore characterization, with them being emotionally tested or even mentally invaded. The final angel, Kaoru, is entirely an exercise in Shinji's characterization coming into play in the plot. It gets to the point where the entire ending just abandons the external plot altogether to focus entirely on the internal journey of our characters. And both of these work, but there's a reason why Evangelion remains controversial even to this day. It's inverted story driving structure. But there's a third kind of...
I need to listen to that fucking like sentence again. I didn't know
that was just a word salad.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he just said. Like, all right.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
And both of these work. But there's a reason why Evangelion remains controversial even to this day. It's inverted story driving structure.
Inverted story driving structure. What the fuck does that mean?
It means it's basically, you know when you put your hand on the back of the you know when you take your hand and put it on the back of the passenger seat and turn around to drive? That's inverted driving.
What?
I shut the fuck up.
I don't even want to think about what you just fucking said. That was just a bunch of fucking nonsense right there.
An inverted plot driving structure. What I'm assuming is that the inverted plot is that everything is structured around the inverted plot, but if you have an inverted plot, wouldn't that mean, or is it the plot driving the entire story, or the inversion of it driving the entire story? Now, like I said, I'll explain, but that was just word salad.
But there's a third kind of story people don't consider.
Oh, okay, we're not even gonna fucking go and fucking bother to explain what the fuck that means. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, so it's like a stun lock. He hits you with like a 1-2 combo, so he can set you up for the big uppercut.
And but instead of going for the big uppercut because you're expecting it, he just like kicks your shin.
Exactly. I mean, hey, you weren't expecting it.
Sure.
Some stories are driven not by
the right answer.
Yeah.
Always do the unexpected.
Always do the unexpected. No, you're fired. Get the fuck out.
Always to the unexpected.
Don't you understand? We need loose cannons just like him. He's totally not going to cause an international incident every 5 fucking seconds.
What do you mean cause an international incident? He's gonna get his shit rocked by the SAS he beat up earlier. That was cute, James Bond. Now you gotta fight all 40 of us.
Well, if the challenge is anything, he did, apparently.
Well, yeah, well, we did it one at a time. They're just gonna fucking hold him down and beat him with fucking socks and soap.
Yeah. So, but now we're getting into Tony G territory. We just got hit with a fucking fucking gobbledygook of nonsense, and he's just gonna move on. Amazing.
Character or by events,
That's why you like this
but
guy so
by the
much.
feeling you get when seeing something spectacular. The feeling they inspire in the audience is what drives narrative.
Well, hold on. Was that underwater?
Spectacular.
Jurassic Park
the
2.
feeling they
No, is this
Yeah,
underwater?
that was one. Yeah, that was underwater.
Yeah, that is
For, like,
underwater.
a split second. That was weird. Good catch.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, but
Bro, like, he cut him so quickly. I thought they were the same movie. Like, it fucking caught me off guard.
yeah, but like, okay, it's been a while since I've seen underwater, but like, there is spectacle in that
do a
movie.
rewatch.
There is spectacle. Don't get me wrong, but like, I wouldn't say the plot's driven by spectacle.
It's not at all.
inspiring the audience is what drives narrative.
I guess Lost World Jurassic Park is kind of like that. It does kind of fit into there, but
Where Kirsten Stewart from that movie goes, aren't I a little short to be in Fortnite? So Priscilla just grabs her and stretches her out.
And then Vince Vaughn goes, "Did they add the shockwave hammers back? Why do you care? You're not going."
Oh. And Vince Vaughn's like mass breaks.
Okay,
Is
I
that
mean,
what we've all watched recently.
I guess you can put Jurassic Park 2 in the category of spectacle driving plot, kind of.
I mean, yeah, because like they're trying to, because like they're there for Sarah, and then like all of that like crazy shit happens.
Sarah.
With all the like, what were those poacher guys called? Did they have a name?
No, they didn't really have a name. They
I
were
think they were
working
just
for some.
poachers.
Yeah, they were. Well, yeah.
Like, kind of poachery-ish.
Roland. Roland. I don't think Roland was a poacher. Well, he kind of is, but he was more of a. He had more of a sense of honor than I guess the average poacher.
Yeah.
Then again, a lot of his characterization was cut out.
Because
Yeah. Vince Vaughn was the true villain of the movie.
Yeah. I'm gonna fucking do a terrorism.
Exactly.
Events and
I'm gonna let
character
the
writing
dinosaurs come out because they have rights.
are secondary to communicating a feeling, and usually that feeling is excitement.
Yeah, I guess Primitive War does fall under that category, and it kind of pisses me off, but.
With thrill. And
You
no,
understand
this isn't just-
bulletproof raptors.
As I say, look, he's showing your favorite movie.
No, that's the accountant. Get it right.
Shut the fuck up. It's the Accountant 2. Get it right.
Stunned like that. I still haven't even seen those fucking movies. I have no context of why that pisses Jake off, but I do find it funny. I have no idea why it makes him angry, but like I just kind of giggle, and I kind of hope like it goes on like Microsoft's Edge kind of thing, where it's like I never find out.
Oh yeah, but you should pull an Oni plays and just start making shit up, where they're just like, oh yeah, where Smeagol is Aragorn's brother.
Where John Bernthal is
Gandalf is kind of a type of golem.
Yeah.
He's saying how movies make you feel is more important than the plot, nor is it me saying that spectacle or feeling are particularly intellectual or sophisticated concepts. In this case, it's
Sophisticated. Sophisticated. I understand if you have a speech impediment, that's
Look,
work through it, but come on, man, you gotta try.
No.
Look, I know I talk faster than I think, but like for certain words, you do just gotta slow down and just say it.
Or, you know, because
Properly.
like, here's the thing, we do a lot of live stuff, you know what I mean? We kind of just like go off the cuff and fuck up everything, and everybody knows that I'm stupid as hell. But, you know, if you're recording something, you can maybe
Do a second take.
Yeah, maybe
Oh yeah,
try
just
again.
do another take. That's
Yep.
And don't
You
get me
know-
wrong, we're not like paragons of speech. God forbid, but still.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially, they're not. For example, Friday the 13th, the intellectual powerhouse, is a spectacle-driven story because the plot in
That is
what?
true. So it is. Well, no, because we were watching Friday the 13th to see what ways Jason kills people.
Yes, I don't know.
As a
I'm not-
Friday
guess,
the
yeah,
as a
considering-
Friday the
here's thing,
13th
here's the thing, I'm not a
fan,
horror guy, so like I don't really know. But
as
like,
an
Well,
actual
no,
like
that's-
Friday the
is that the
13th
dri-
Depending
is that
on-
the driving thing for people to go see the movie. For
Yes.
Because like when
Yeah.
know who Jason was at that point.
yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. To be fair, that is normally it for slasher movies. You're normally there just to watch these teenagers get fucking brutally murdered. That's why normally the teenagers are such awful people.
awful people are like just absolute nothing characters, except for like the final girl.
Final girl, call me.
characters are a vehicle to get us to the various kills. The
Yes.
tension and release of adrenaline is the core drive of the
God, that fucking kill got so neutered. It's so. I hate the MPA so much for neutering these goddamn movies, man. Sorry, I needed to get that out.
story.
Wait, wait, wait,
I was
wait, wait,
about to say.
Context, my guy.
So basically, the sleeping bag scene that we just watched, it was supposed to go on for like way longer, and it was gonna be a lot more a lot bloodier. Like, there's some like really scuffed and bad footage of it that was like that was saved that you can find like online and whatnot. But like what it looked right there was that Jason picked up the sleeping bag, hit it once, and then just threw it on the ground. But the steam was supposed to hit. He's going to hit the sleeping bag against the tree over and over and over, and then blood was flying out of the sleeping bag in bits and pieces of like the person inside. But it got cut because the MPA was going to give that movie an X rating if they left it in. They wanted as many people to see as possible, so they had to do that so it could get to an R rating. And that's not the only time it happened.
That's fucking stupid.
I can't remember. I think it was in part 3. I think it was in part 3 that Jason like squishes a guy's head like basically into a little like to like a gushy like pancake or whatever they had to cut. Or at least until his eyeballs popped out of his head. I can't remember which, but like even up until Jason X had some stuff that had to get cut or else they'd get an X rating or NC-17 at that time, I guess.
Freezing the girl's face in liquid nitrogen and then slamming it down was one of my favorite kills in the entire franchise.
Oh, that kill is absolutely phenomenal.
Eraserhead has barely a plot to speak of at all.
I've never seen Eraserhead. I only watched James Rolfe review it, and honestly, in everything I've seen of it, it just does not look like my cup of tea.
Or
It's
characters,
not
for
that great.
matter. Same
Then
with
again, it's made by
Tetsuo
Ed Wood.
Eraserhead was made by Ed Wood? I thought it was made by like someone else.
Hold on. Pull it
Eraserhead-
back.
no, I don't
I'm
think
pretty sure
Eraserhead-
was made by.
No, wasn't it made by David Finch? David Lynch, or so whoever. Maybe not David Lynch, but someone else.
Eraserhead. No, you're right, David Lynch. I'm thinking of something else. Never mind.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's like like Eraserhead. It, from my understanding, is just more of a surreal kind of shock, like kind of horror movie where things just happen, which is like that just does not very good.
I was
movie.
gonna say, like, allow me to introduce you to the island of Dr. Moreau, like where that is just what it's trying to show you, because they're like, oh, we like sewed a bunch of people parts together, and we managed to somehow get I can't believe I forgot
Marlon Brando.
his name, the actor who played
Marlon
Marlon Brando, yeah, where he's at like pretty much the ass end of his career.
Well, to be fair, the Island Dr. Moreau, like that version of the movie, that script was like that entire production was a nightmare.
Oh yeah,
Irony.
like Max, for example, they had to stop They had to stop multiple cast members from like fleeing the set, and they even caught one of them at the airport.
God, it was such a mess.
Rather, what drives the plot is the creeping feelings of disconnect we get from either Lynch's nightmare world or the miracle of seeing a man turn into metal. Tetsuo the Iron Man's kind
But is that a plot? I mean, I guess it is a plot, but like but you're making it sound like a disjointed, incoherent mess. Because honestly, this feels more like spectacle than anything, if I'm being honest.
Which demonstrates his point, I guess.
Sure. Well, yeah.
He's like, oh, the plot doesn't matter because we're just here for the spectacle of the horror.
But is it even like horror if it's just random shit happening? Because horror requires like tension and like build up and like things kind of like logically happening and like an actual structure.
I've seen backwards movie. That's not true. You need like spooky music for like the refills you made.
of a weird movie. I don't even know.
Or if you're Steven Spielberg and you're just like, what if we made you question God? I know Disclosure Day is not a horror movie, but still, I'm gonna make fun of it.
It was marketed as a fucking horror movie. Fuck off.
Oh, it was? Like, I only saw like one trailer for it.
Yeah, the trailer made it seem like all the fucking like animals were supposed to like come and like murder them or whatever. But it's like, no, the animals were the alien. Oh fuck, you haven't seen it. Fuck. Never mind. Don't worry about that.
We watched the beginning. We got 30 minutes in.
I was watching this schmuck. A masterpiece like Disclosure Day.
We can finish that another time. I got really annoyed at it.
Yeah, we got half an hour in before he was just like, I'm going to fucking bed.
It's so good though. What are you talking about? Come on,
you
man.
shut your lying mouth.
So good. What if like the aliens?
Why are you a lying liar who lies?
The fucking line of the line that really killed me was like, if they see this, they'll stop believing in God. It's just like, what?
Well, no, once again,
So
like,
fucking unwarranted.
After that. But still, no, that movie's awful. You should go finish it.
Eraserhead has barely a plot to speak of at all, or characters for that matter. Same with Tetsuo the Iron Man. Rather, what drives the plot is the creeping feelings of disconnect we get from either Lynch's nightmare world or the miracle of seeing a man turn into metal. Tetsuo the Iron Man is kind of a weird movie. I don't even know if it has a cohesive plot, or characters for that matter. As mentioned before, most...
Well, then if you don't know, then it probably doesn't. Like...
No, it's so good though. It's foreign. So it must be.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I bet if I were to watch it, I think that like visually it'd be neat because it kind of looks like it'd be up my alley, just in terms of like body horror and whatnot. But I
don't like that kind of stuff though.
Also, High Labyrinth, like
Yeah.
just based off of one frame. There he is.
David Bowie.
In the area.
Yep. All right. Are we gonna see it?
Are an interplay between these three components.
Do we see it?
Both the
Damn it! We didn't get to see it.
We don't get to see the area. So there's a cult formed around David Bowie's bulge called Areologists. They're all based around seeing the area, which is David Bowie's bulge.
It is distracting because I've seen that movie.
This is the world.
It's like fucking rusting that shit out of it.
It's so distracting. Like he has his tight
along
pants
with
on, and then you just
fushigi.
Yeah, and then you just see it there. It's just there. It's just like for the world to see, and you're like, why are you looking at it? How can I not notice it? Like, it's like don't look at the elephant. Don't look at the elephant.
Why are you not?
True. Why are you not looking at it?
Exactly.
Gay.
MCU and Evangelion have intense moments of spectacle, but they're often in service of the plot and characters. When Shinji fights the Overtaken, Ava Unit 3 for example, it's an unforgettable
What the fuck? This footage is awful. Could you... Like, this quality of this footage, where did you get this?
sequence. It's incredible. But the gore and violence is only meaningful because it
incredible.
resolves the episode's plot.
Oh my... I'm sorry, the quality of this clip is terrible. You couldn't have, like, bought, like, the Blu-ray or the DVD and just ripped the footage from there?
I don't even know if you need to do all of that. Probably just-
No,
You could OBS screen record it. Like...
I was about to say, just go on Amazon Prime and just fucking screen record over Evangelion, like, on Prime. That's...
Yeah. Oh god,
I
this
don't need
is...
to go
yeah,
that far.
This is so scuffed.
Plot and is a key moment in Shinji's increasing feelings of anxiety and isolation. Because, you know, his father has the dummy plug system overtake his Ava and forces him to attack a machine piloted by someone who we know is his best friend. But he doesn't know that. He just knows it's the person he's harming. And the dramatic irony and tension elevate the sequence to be more impactful than it would be ordinarily if it was just another angel. Ava Unit 1...
Sure, but how does this tie into sometimes plot doesn't matter?
To understand.
Ripping Unit 3
No.
apart is unlike Jason killing some teenagers in his story. The latter is far more superficial. You know, Jason whacks a teen against a tree in a sleeping bag, okay, whatever. One doesn't carry with it the weight of character loss, like Unit 1's assault on Toji.
What is that noise?
What?
Does anyone hear that snoring noise?
Oh, hold on a second. I'm gonna...
Oh, yeah, shit. Is that Anaya?
I guess it was.
Oh, shit. God damn, yeah, because when you said it, I was like, I don't hear anything. Oh, I was like, oh shit, yeah, now I hear it. Like,
I guess we'll wait for him to come back.
I guess. Alright,
I kind of just shoved her leg.
Okay.
Well, kind of woke her up.
Stop dying, you stupid bitch.
Does. There are, of
Well,
course,
it's-
many variations.
I mean, I just shoved her leg when they can hear you, and then I called her Then she got the usual remark of jet engine.
Of spectacle. One form of spectacle is comedy. A comedy's plot is often secondary to the number of gags they can pull off. Character and spectacle here drives comedy. And sometimes, comedy can transition into horror, as seen in Barton Fink, where Barton, ironically...
Do you agree with that assessment of comedy?
I have no idea what his context is for this. You could say that for, like, well, weirdly enough, like, I have been fucking shaking Steamy Weenie here. You can actually say that for the Amazing Digital Circus. Like, the idea of going from, like, a joke to, like, existential dread.
Well, no, I'm talking about with comedy not really relying that much on plot or something like that. Hold on, let's go back to hear what he said.
Comedy, the great comedies do rely on plot. Like, in fact, it's not as well structured as something like Star Wars, but they're at the same time like The Naked Gun, where they're trying to chase the MacGuffin, but it is integral to the plot.
Well, let's hear what he had to say again, just to get him like. Let's see what he has to say.
There are, of course, many variations of spectacle. One form of spectacle is comedy. A comedy's plot is often secondary to the number of gags they can pull off.
Okay, secondary.
I can often secondary. I can kind of agree with that.
Yeah, okay, that's
The idea is when you're making a comedy, you do want to make something fucking funny. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like, if you ever listen to the writer, like,
Yeah.
some of my favorite content is like listen to the writer's room of like South Park. Like, that shit's hilarious.
It is pretty funny,
They
yeah.
just kind of start with that, like they talk about gags, and then they kind of build the plot around the gags. It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
also insane that they had to do all that shit in a fucking week. Sorry,
Yeah.
they did that in 6 days.
In 6 days. It's like, and they did that for like 20 years.
Years, dude. It's insane.
character and spectacle.
The only time they
here
really eased up was when they
drives
moved over to like
comedy.
Flash.
And
I think.
sometimes comedy
Yeah.
can transition into horror, as seen in Barton Fink, where Barton, ironically, proclaims he is a voice for the common man, while ignoring his neighbor Charlie's stories. This turns out horrific when it turns out Charlie is a maniac. Barton Fink is a character-driven story with very little spectacle, but the one spectacle
Okay.
it offers, iconic cinema. Sometimes spectacle.
I haven't heard of it. But sure it
Yeah,
is.
neither have I. But okay, like
But
maybe.
it's iconic cinema because it is an icon on the screen and it was played at a cinema. The subtleties.
I mean, all right. Like, I guess I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment on it. So I guess moving
Don't
on.
you understand? He's a learned man.
Is
Modern
glacial.
man, a man of
Russian
modern
films
age.
like Select.
Oh, Russian films. Oh man, we're going into foreign films.
Hell yeah. Well, we already did that with the Tishigi and the Iron Man.
Tetsuo the Iron Man. God, my God, he's still so fucking pretentious, man.
What do you mean?
Paris, Stalker, and Come and See linger in slowness, forcing you to gaze at scenes where little happens. Because nothing is driving you onward through plot, you are forced to absorb setting and visuals. And these visuals can be hypnotic, full of gravity, even sometimes deeply disturbing.
Okay, but how does that translate to sometimes the plot doesn't matter? You're analyzing aspects according to you of the story.
Oh, yeah.
Like what the? Oh my God!
You should watch
If
this
you ask
review
me to
on Chad's book.
Also, did we just almost see a kid get its head blown off?
Yeah.
Like that.
It's a short film I made. It's called
Christ.
"Oh My God, This Kid Gets His Head Blown Off."
Whole
Live on Netflix.
plot, I'd struggle, but I will never forget.
Oh god, I just realized the audience probably can't hear me because I didn't have the fucking mic anywhere near my body. Shit. Oh well.
All right,
I didn't say anything useful anyway.
I need to hear this again.
And these visuals can be hypnotic, full of gravity, even sometimes deeply disturbing. If you asked me to recall Come and See's plot, I'd struggle, but I will.
Okay, but
What? That means you didn't pay attention, to be honest.
so either you
Or
didn't
the
pay
movie was
attention,
shit.
either you didn't pay attention, or the plot just wasn't that good or non-existent.
Never forget the images in that film.
Which again, I'm just gonna have to take his word for it that he's like accurately describing the movie because like I mean.
Solaris
seen it.
was later remade with much of the lingering omitted. It was a more tightly written remake, and a lot of people don't like it. Because despite being the same plot, in fact, tighter
I know.
and more clearly communicated,
Who cares? You're not demonstrating you're doing the whole thing of like how the audience feels, and you're right. In that case, what the audience feels, sometimes plot doesn't matter. The numero uno, fucking number one offender of that is Bayformers.
What are you talking about? Those movies are amazing.
it's
Pump the brakes, kid.
not
Those
as
movies are national
effective
treasure.
without the slow, lingering shots that keep you set in one place. The greatest works of fiction balance these three pillars in different configurations,
Yes,
some more than
agreed.
the other. It's not about what they do more.
And I really like how you just get just kind of moved on from that as well, from the spectacle aspect.
Oh yeah. So you don't have time to think.
You don't have
Like,
time to
moving
think.
on.
Yeah,
But we didn't. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. But the thing about it is that like, and I think I finally found like the fault in this is like you have something that's more character focused, but the characters are driving the plot, so the plot still matters. So the plot still matters. Then you have like the spectacle driving the plot, which maybe in that case like the spectacle in and of itself is like that's in the case for plot. Well, no, even then the plot matters because like the spectacle does matter because it drives the plot. It's just the plot can be shit.
And yeah, and
See
like
Friday the
I said,
13th.
when making and when you're making spectacle, again, that's normally included in the script, which is part of plot, like the making of the plot. I mean,
Yeah, like
because again, you can't just say that like you wouldn't be able to convince me that it turns out the entire minigun segment in Terminator 2 was just some producer in the corner just going, what if we did this thing? Like those like magic in a like capturing like lightning in a bottle in some films is entirely possible. It's how we got the famous scene in Predator where they're all just gunning down the forest. But that's mainly due to
logistical problems.
in this case because they couldn't return any of the ammunition. So they just said fuck it.
Ball.
I was going to say something and I forgot. Damn, I forgot. Oh, right. I actually remembered. And in the case of like Freddy versus Jason, if we're going to be using an aspect,
that movie is all plot.
Here's the thing, though, it actually is quite heavy on plot. Like, I'm being real. Because in order to get the first fight between Freddy and Jason, they get a bunch of tranquilizer, and the reason why we get it is because they want to tranquilize Jason so that he can go and fight Freddy in like the dream world. Or wait, no. No, I got that wrong.
No, that was exactly it. That's the later half of it.
Yeah. You're right. And then the reason why they're going to like the place with like all of the kids that like took too much of the hypnocell and just are asleep forever is because they need more of the hypnocell to not dream so Freddy doesn't kill them. That's why they went there.
Oh, they just get.
Freddy is the one that tranquilizes Jason so he can fight him in the dream world. Because
I haven't seen that movie to full. I just watched the fucking fight.
And the reason why he wants that to happen is because Jason is now killing people Freddy wants dead. He stole Freddy's kill.
Chick magic.
Yeah, no, he stole Freddy's kill, and then Freddy was like, no, she was mine, because Freddy has spent like a decade just not having enough power to really do anything, just kind of a ghost of his former self. Hence why he brings Jason back to bring fear into Springwood, so that way he can grow stronger. Because people are going to start thinking about Freddy, because the only person that's really done a lot of mass murders in Springwood. Yeah, Springwood. Like in Springwood.
Man, that would have fucking been a way different movie.
I'd
actually watch it.
Is Freddy. So there is an internal logic there. Freddy vs. Jason is actually, for what it is, surprisingly well written, and I'll stand by that. It still has silly, goofy stuff, but it remembers things like Hypnosil, which was in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 and never brought up ever again for whatever reason.
But rather how it works out and what intentionality they're trying to do with these three pillars of storytelling. I think a great way to think of it is by comparing Lord of the Rings original novels by J.R.R. Tolkien to
J.R.R.
R.R. Tolkien. Christ,
the
man.
film adaptations by Peter Jackson. The original novels are far more character-driven than plot-driven. Characters just talk, they wander around, they stop to have dinner, they stop to sing a song, they stop to eat and talk and rest, etc. There's deep emotional bonds between figures where you see grown men hug and cry and express deep mourning when someone...
Did you say deep morse? Hold on.
He did say deep morse. That was weird.
You mean remorse and mourning.
Also, with this...
Dear morse.
Dear
also,
morse.
that's Skyrim ass fucking music.
I know. I think that is Skyrim. That's weird. Does he use Skyrim music for his things?
I mean, he uses all kinds of music. So I wouldn't be surprised.
That's just everybody does it. It's like how if we listened and we probably heard some Persona music in there too.
Yeah, literally, we were watching that video of that little Asian guy talking about that one YouTuber's book. and yeah, like him just throwing in Persona music and Ace. Anytime Ace something, it's when people throw in Ace Attorney music, and then it's like, okay, you're a real one for that.
Is lost. And while there is a plot that does drive narrative and it is powerful, it's a very leisurely novel to read.
Okay, but then that means the plot matters. So the premise of your fucking video or the title of your video, like, it's you haven't proven it. Like, what the fuck are you on about?
The Battle of Helm's Deep is built up to, but the battle itself is brief relative to page count. There's more time describing the food at Rivendell's feasts than there is the clashing of spears.
That's because Tolkien didn't write action. Like when you think about what he's done and what he's experienced, the man's experienced the horrors of World War I. I don't think he's gonna write about like the horrors of war and like showing like, oh yes, and then Aragorn decapitated an orc and then Legolas did a backflip. Like,
And snapped the bad guy's neck.
it's not what his that wasn't what his stories were about.
Should have been though. That would be sick. Fucking doing super badass backflip and fucking killing all the enemies. That'd be so cool.
Shields of orcs. This is not the case.
Anyone who
for
says
humans, which
Tolkien would have hated the movies would have it's like he would have loved the Legolas sections because Legolas was one of his favorite characters to write.
He'd be like, oh, that was
Like,
badass.
all right, we're gonna show him his
when he runs up that rock, hell yeah, and he high fives fucking Christopher Lee.
I was about to say the bit where he throws the shield down and serves down the stairs.
has intense.
Or him
driving.
taking on the Oliphants. He's just like, oh my god, this is hype.
That really counts as one.
When he fucking, I was say when he does the horse flip or whatever, and he just goes, "Whoa!" and just fucking explodes. It's awesome. He would do that. Why didn't I write that?
Incredible
Jackson's
spectacle.
visionary.
It also has a lot of great epic war scenes and battles that were briefly described in the novel. And while there is still immense character,
Yeah, and they need to expand on them because, it's a visual fucking medium. Like,
characterization, there is not as much of a focus on characterization in terms of sheer page count. Tolkien cared more about the humanity within combat, whereas Peter Jackson balances humanity with visual storytelling to build tension, and both do it masterfully. But
okay, they both balance all three aspects, sure, of a story. Okay, how does this tie into sometimes plot doesn't matter? We're God damn it, Tony, why do you do this all the time? Why do people like you? Why do people watch you?
Well, you see, I have to make the running time more by talking about the movie.
So here's the thing. I'll admit,
Timmy. Not Timmy, Jimmy.
Jimmy, you fucking Philistine.
Yeah, it's like, you see, I need to take
Yeah,
it
you
back.
corrected it and said Jimmy.
You
My husband's name out your fucking mouth.
like critical drinker is a grifter.
the approach is still different. One's not necessarily better than the other, they're just different approaches to the same core ideas. But Tolkien's focus is ultimately on crafting a world. One that you could feel like you could realistically slip into and live in. Especially the Shire, it's very casual. Much like James Cameron's Avatar. I'm not saying literally.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Let him-
He's got to preface it, but I was like, okay, wait a minute, nigga, calm down.
As good as Avatar,
Shredded
that'd be
some-
ridiculous.
You shredded
But
some thin ice there, buddy.
Middle Earth and Pandora are both given a lot of development in the works. However, because Tolkien's
Pandora is not given development at like okay, it's given a lot of visual
It's
development.
Not past the first, not past the first movie.
It is. It does get a lot of fucking world building on that shit. It does get a lot of the stuff, like the idea of like all of the animals being connected to the fucking Ayla shit. Like, come on, we gotta be fair. I hate those fucking movies. Don't make me fucking defend them. Please, for the love of God, move on.
characters,
Like,
Okay,
don't-
sorry,
Like,
when
I'm
I-
fucking getting
when I
mad
point
like,
out
at
there-
myself for even bringing this up.
The reason I
developed in
pointed out is more like I feel like the danger of Pandora has been lost throughout these movies. Like, granted, I'll admit I still haven't seen the third one. Remember,
Well, the
this
idea
entire
is the
planet
dangers-
wants you dead, and it feels like
Well, the idea is that the whole planet wants you dead is because it wants humanity dead. It doesn't want the fucking Na'vi dead. The Na'vi are supposed to be in touch with nature and fucking hocus pocus bullshit.
Yeah, and humanity is irredeemable and must be wiped out.
Exactly.
becomes one aspect of the story.
Oh, whoops, sorry, let me just go back.
Middle-earth and Pandora are both given a lot of development in the works. However, because Tolkien's characters are so richly developed and so superior in their writing, the world building becomes one aspect of the story, rather than the sole pillar. On the other hand, Jackson's Middle-earth is more plot-driven, which allows us to experience Middle-earth far more effectively through the external events that transpire. In both cases, spectacle of the world becomes one component of it. In this sense, world-driven stories often fall into spectacle. The plot and characters are vehicles to bring us to more aspects of the world, but it's a smoother process if the plot and characters work. In either event, though, what you really want to do is slip into this world that elicits a feeling in the audience. One of familiarity, one of maybe a utopian paradise. Oh
my god, shut the fuck up. Oh.
Is he like telling him how to write the movie better?
I don't know what he's doing. He's, again, like, all these, like, what he is effectively saying, if I'm interpreting this correctly, is sometimes stories are driven by the world and they kind of come out hollow and there's not as much investment as opposed to something like Lord of the Rings, which does both. And, like, yes, I agree with you. How does this tie into sometimes plot doesn't matter?
horror, potentially. A great example of a work that really doesn't have much in the way of plotting, it's The Big Lebowski. Big Lebowski has a plot that weaves a ton of webs.
Oh, careful.
That goes nowhere. Nothing really gets wrapped up, and in fact, the film gradually undermines the conflict it builds up over the course of the film.
That's fair.
This, of course, works because the film is the sort of absurdist story about a dude who gets dragged into what feels like 50.
What on God's green earth
There's a
are you
beverage
flying
here.
over?
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of cooking. Here's the thing. Finally, he gets to a thing we can actually know about, and yeah, he's kind of right. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very absurd. It's very stupid, and like it almost feels like the dude is being pulled into a completely different set of movies, and he just wants his
Yeah.
fucking rug.
Yeah.
It's literally the quest to get a rug, and he finally gets the rug, and he's about to just like chill out and fucking listen to whales chill and listen to fucking bowling pins get like hit. And then all of a sudden he gets punched in the face and the rug gets stolen.
Like 15 different movie plots, each subplot
Yeah, same.
feeling that comes from a different genre of film.
Damn, I bet
all
rewatched
the
this
dude
movie.
wants is just a new rug to tie his room together. He's just vibing as stuff around him goes
Really
mental.
brought the room together.
And what holds it all
Room
together are two characters who seem divided from the rest of the weirdness. The dude and Walter, John Goodman's character. The rest of the movie is just a showcase of increasingly bizarre characters showing up for a scene or two and then nothing. Pure
Yeah,
character.
like that porn
comedy
producer
with
guy
the
right there.
pretenses.
Jake, because you haven't seen this movie, right?
You showed it to me,
we
but
need
I
to show
don't.
him
I
the-
don't
Oh, wait.
remember it. I don't remember it.
There's like just a point where the dude is trying to he's like listening to this porn guy like talk or whatever, and like the guy takes a phone call, and you see him like reach over and like start doodling something on it as he's like taking this phone call. So it's almost like, oh, he's taking information, so I should see what he did. So the dude does something really clever when the guy walks away, runs over to it, and then like does that little like pencil shading to see like what he wrote, and he just drew like a fucking dick. It's such a like the plot of that movie is so bizarre, like, and weird.
Of a plot that ultimately doesn't
Like, that's why
matter.
you're just
But
in
these
for a
films are
ride
the
when you watch that.
exceptions, ultimately. Even
Yeah.
the Coen brothers
Okay.
struggle to recapture the same absurdist vibe in their later films. Hail Caesar, I think, tries to be a Hollywood Lebowski, and it fails because it's
I
just
don't know.
missing the sauce. I
Yeah,
couldn't even tell you
I
what
never
that
seen
sauce
that.
is. It's not one.
I hated Hail Caesar. Like, for
Eager's
such an
assessment
interesting
there?
film that sort of, I don't agree with it at all. The problem, like, especially because it's got a central focus of the fact that George Clooney's actor character has been kidnapped, and then we later find out he was kidnapped by the communist like party, and they were trying they're trying to convert him to communism. And then when the film ends, they get him back, and then he's just like, now just go make a fucking movie, man. Like, you're an actor. Like,
Is that really
it's
what it is?
oddly enough, Hail Caesar is just it's really such a nothing burger movie, which is very bizarre because it's also a love letter to old school Hollywood. They show how like old films are edited, for example, like how the film reels are like glued together, and like the dangerous processes because with all the machinery.
So it's
like
like
all the
Tropic
stuff
Thunder in a
involving
sense,
like
where they're
unions.
trying to make a movie. It's not like a set piece, period piece. Or
No, yeah,
whatever.
they're trying to make them. They're trying to make a. Well, it is a period piece about making a movie.
Yeah, okay. But like but it's not.
Like-
It doesn't take place in like fucking the Roman times or whatever, right?
No, they're making a movie about Rome.
Okay.
It's actually their version of the Passion of the Christ, because George Clooney plays a Roman soldier who meets Jesus. That was like and they keep trying to get him back because they're supposed to have the pivotal scene of him like seeing Jesus on the cross, and he's supposed to have this big speech, and then it finally gets to that scene, and he flubs it. And then he's doing this next to Clancy Brown, and he fucks it up. It's like one of the only good jokes in the entire film, and he's just like, oh, they start like just shaking out the vibes, like, yeah, don't worry, you'll get it, man. I'd recommend, I guess,
That
we
sounds like
could
something
watch
something
it.
we could watch.
Like,
Put it on the back burner.
yeah.
It's
There's
not
a good
one
chance
thing,
we'll
it's
get
several
bored by it, but like that's a chance with any film we might get bored of it.
things it does right in the right doses. It's hard to recapture. So unless you're a master of storytelling, you may want to have a balance of plot, character, and spectacle. As a
Wow, yes. Thank you for the most basic, elementary advice to any writer. Which, actually, you know what? To be fair, so many writers think that they can do so much, like, to do a lot of things. Cough, cough, shad, cough, cough. So, I guess that is good advice these days.
opposed to over-relying on one. That being said, sometimes you can completely forego plot and it works. Lebowski is an example of that. Tetsuo the Iron Man is an example of that.
Okay, so I guess you could say Big Lebowski is an example of that. I haven't seen Tetsuo the Iron Man, but like the Big Lebowski is at least would you say it's at least coherent to some degree?
No.
Oh.
It's like insanity. Like there is a point where it's just like, what the fuck is happening? Like I said, there's a point where he gets kidnapped by a porn producer for no fucking reason.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't remember. I don't remember anything about that movie.
That movie, like I said, don't get me wrong, I love
We
that
might need
movie.
to just
Yeah, the
rewatch
plot is
it.
fucking nonsense.
Eraserhead's an example of that.
A lot of stuff a lot of stuff doesn't get resolved either.
Yeah, he's totally right about that. Like that fucking the German guys who like pretend to kidnap what's her face or whatever, like they wind up cutting one of their friends' toes off to make it seem like they were kidnapping Tara Reid or whatever. Then Tara Reid just kind of just shows up, and then like nothing really happens with them. Like they get into like that brawl, that like big fight, but then like they kind of just leave.
Would you say that because Big Lebowski is
Is there
a
even
comic,
a resolution?
do you think that
Guys,
because
Like we don't even get like a resolution to see if that one chick got pregnant. You know what I mean?
No, I was gonna say, do we even get a resolution on the bowling tournament? Like, I don't even think
No.
that gets resolved.
No, like he's literally doing it, like, but we don't see how like any of that like happens with Donnie's death. We don't see how that influences the rest of the thing.
would you say that like Big Lebowski can get like at least somewhat of a pass on it because it's funny?
Oh yeah, well no, that's kind of the point. Like it's absurdist humor. Like, you know what I mean? Like it is.
Well, that
It
and
is like
also
it is
can
like
be
the
used as a
first
decent character
YouTube poop
study.
ever made.
Yeah, but and of course because Wyatt, you've seen Eraserhead, right?
I saw it like once when I was a kid. Like that's
Okay.
why like my memory of it isn't that great. I would also argue that Big Lebowski also works as a decent character study of just the dude. We just see how he goes through life because
Yeah,
the
but
dude
it's character
abides.
study. This thing is, it has nothing to do with the plot. The plot is just like utter nonsense.
Yeah,
Like I said, that one bitch keeps trying to get him like to a place where she can like drug him and steal his fucking sperm, to the point where she just straight up has sex with him and then tries to like maximize her chances of copulation.
Also, I just point out, I paused on such a horrible thing. He's just his smug little fucking grin of, haha, you acknowledged I was right on something.
Mm-hmm.
Which, fair enough, okay, alright, you have
the screen's black for me. I appreciate that. I was like, I don't get this. I don't see fucking shit.
No, I see the I see what Jake's talking about.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah. So, you know what? Fair enough, Tony. You get the Big Lebowski. I can't comment on Eraserhead or Tetsuo the Iron Man at all, but we'll give you the Big Lebowski. You now have one example.
One.
And it took us halfway into the video to get to it. Just the time wasting stamp that is Anthony Gramuglia, just incessantly prattling on about some stuff that doesn't fucking matter.
As a kid at a fucking Springfield Comic-Con said, talk about Star Wars.
You're probably not.
That's all because you know it's coming.
Yeah, possibly.
Example of that.
Well, you're probably not making Eraserhead. What the fuck?
But like, you're probably not making Eraserhead. In theory, the perfect story balances plot, character, and spectacle perfectly. And if there is a balance to get, you get a sense that something is right. If there isn't, you can sometimes see weaknesses in the story. But the weaknesses are often the result of certain components not being enough. However, it's easy to...
Or just bad execution, which I guess that's the same... I guess that's what you're saying, just in a weird way.
Point out when the plot doesn't work or is presented in a way that's not natural, uncommon, or potentially contrived.
Not natural.
Not natural. Oh, the giant claw.
Critics can point to stories.
It's a bird as big as a battleship.
Where the plot is either weak, inconsistent, or full of contrivances. But
oh my god, did he just reference? Oh fuck, I can't remember what the series or the movie or whatever it's called, but it's basically the dinosaurs survived their mass extinction and like they can shapeshift into humans.
Based.
Okay, we need to watch this film immediately.
That sounds awesome.
Like I am so like I just heard that and I just went, I am so down.
I'll have to look up what it's called, but oh man, I remember bits and pieces of it on the Sci-Fi Channel just here and there, but the fact that he referenced it just if that is it, just unlocked a fucking memory.
Unlock your disc?
Yeah, unlocked my disc.
Sometimes the plot being structured well doesn't make anything better.
That's a take. Okay, fine. All right. We'll hear him out.
100% disagree with it, but let's see.
And people still blame the plot
also,
when the actual
Warcraft
issue
movie.
may be spectacle or character.
No. Man of Steel's plot is retarded.
No. Man of Steel's plot's stupid as hell.
Yeah. I can't speak for the Warcraft movie because I never seen it. But Man of Steel.
The Warcraft movie is also kind of nonsensical.
Characterization.
Yeah, it's because it's trying to tell the plot of the first Warcraft while also
it's trying to tell the plot of the backstory of World of Warcraft. It's not telling the first story of Warcraft 1. It's really weird. They're trying to erase the RTSs, and it kind of pissed me off. But that's a whole other discussion. We're not going to get into it.
But we wouldn't be here without those.
I know, Wyatt. Why are you yelling at me, motherfucker?
Plot can suck.
I'm yelling at you. That was just an exclaimed statement.
Whatever. I hate you.
Play no role in why people like the story.
Yep. See, okay, fair enough. There's one. You can touch one cheek.
Yeah. Like again, a bad plot can be saved by the characters. It can be saved, and that's the movie. The movie or the story can be saved. However, that doesn't mean the plot doesn't matter. Because it does. It brings the story. I would argue it's still the bad plot still brings the story down. It's just saved by good characters.
These inconsistencies mean that when examining a story, you have to be flexible with how you criticize it.
Examine.
Take, for example, Star Wars.
He said it.
God
He said it.
damn it. Like, I knew it was gonna happen, and I'm still fucking angry.
Which, by the way, when you criticize,
Come on, Anthony.
I just want to expand on this. When you criticize a piece of media, I understand being flexible, but if the plot is nonsense garbage, it's nonsense garbage. Like that's just how it is. Like
Just
you
do
need.
what it be, you-
Even if it's not trying to be plot heavy, you still need to look at the plot and see if it's any good, right? Like even if it's like not the main component, you still need to see if it's any good.
Many Star Wars films have a perfectly well-structured plot that adheres to traditional structure, time-honored structure. George Lucas very clearly draws from the hero's journey, and later storytellers copy Lucas's notes to do the same effect. And it works on paper. So why do so many people not like Star Wars sequels all that much? The Force
Because their plots are retarded.
Why?
Awakens, for example, is formulaic to a fault, adhering to all the main beats of storytelling that you saw in Joseph Campbell's work, that George Lucas honored. But people are still very negative at the film, and they think it's the plot that's the problem, but
No, the plot is the problem. It is a problem. It is a massive problem,
Well,
Tony.
hang on. Did we say if it's the main problem? Let's see what he says.
really, it's a few different things. The big thing, though, is world building and characterization. Those
Yes.
two components are weak, and as a result, the formulaic plot isn't enough to anchor the story together. First, world building, because yes,
fair enough.
even an established world like
But even then, like it's not even necessarily the plot is formulaic. The
World
plot
building
is
is part of
broke.
plot.
But more importantly, the plot is broken. It's not just it is formulaic, but it is also broken. Like the plot relies on so many conveniences that it's actually astounding.
Yeah, like I remember when I was first starting to like really look at The Force Awakens, and it's just like, so this lady just happened to be on this planet that just happened to be where the resistance thing gets dropped off, and that just happens to be where Finn goes, and that just happens to be where the Millennium fucking Falcon is.
Or
Just-
like
just one after the fucking other in quick succession.
Or, and I will say this is part of plot, not necessarily just character. Rey just magically pulls the mind trick out of her ass. The plot literally just gave her that.
Which is why I was really hoping
Give her the-
I'll sing it to the fucking end of the earth. I was really hoping they were doing the KOTOR 2 thing of her being like a siphon in the Force. But you know, we can't have
Yeah,
those things.
Yeah, it's
well, because that would require J.J. Abrams to actually understand what that means.
Yeah, like the
then,
nuances
of course,
actually
that
the
would
Force being
require-
a bad thing.
And
But-
then also that would require Ryan to not just immediately go, but what if they're all bad?
What if Palpatine?
And then he shoots himself in the head.
but I just because you're right, Tony. Like characters and world building in The Force Awakens are also awful, but the plot isn't just formulaic. It is fundamentally broken. It is just as big of a problem as the other things.
Star Wars, at every step needs world building. After all, Star Wars is another one of those stories that got people's attention, not because it has particularly great characters or a plot, but because the world was so complex and so fantastical that it drew people in for years.
I don't agree with that.
How
Yeah,
it's a
neither do
full
I.
bag.
dare you?
I was about to say that's
That-
I think kind of disgusted with you there, buddy.
Absolute sack of shit. To, like,
Yeah, the
let's-
characters
I'm
aren't
not
really
even
that.
immediately
The
gonna go
characters in
like
the
I always.
characters in Star Wars aren't that good, so.
Well, the
I'm
thing
not
is,
even gonna go to Luke. I'm not gonna go to the one I do all the time. The introduction of Han Solo is one of the coolest character introductions we've seen in like storytelling at that time. he
Bet you
like because
have,
he's part of
McClunky.
the. I don't have it with me. Tell Jabba. It's like he's picking at the fucking wall. He's very clearly done this before. And
Well, he's
then
picking
after
at
he
the wall
shoots
because
Greedo,
he's
sorry
I was gonna
about-
say, he's picking at the wall to distract Greedo from like what he's actually doing. And compared
yeah,
to what he's done.
exactly. Yeah.
Sleight of hand.
And then and then again after he shoots Greedo, sorry about the mess, and then flips a fucking coin to the bartender. Like, it's like.
And the bartender looks at him like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with
one of
this?
the-
We take credits, asshole.
And if it was,
And then remember, one of Leia's first moments, not only is shooting a guy, but also sees the big bad Darth Vader. Excuse me, sees the big bad Darth Vader and goes, Darth Vader, only you could be so bold. The Imperial, like, she immediately starts sassing to Darth fucking Vader, who probably could have easily murdered her, like, just then and there, like, and would have just dealt with the political repercussions later.
He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you remind me of my wife.
To say the characters in Star Wars aren't that good is dishonest to such a blatant point. It's scum. It's so fucking scummy, man.
unless he just was trying to convey that like the reason why people were drawn in isn't just because the characters, it wasn't because the characters and plot were good.
Yeah,
it
he
was
should
because
have
the world.
said it better, because I do agree. Like, I do care a lot more. Here's the thing, because I don't really care too much about Luke and Han. Like, I was more attached to the world personally, just me.
I mean, fair enough.
But I will
word
admit
your
that's like
fucking
personal, and
sentence
I'm not saying
better.
that. And I'm not even saying that Han and Luke are bad characters. Just like they didn't really do much for me.
And honestly, like how many things have tried to
No, fair
replicate Star
enough.
Wars after it released, but failed primarily because even if the world may have been so interesting on first glance and kind of fantastical, the characters were just not there. How many times did that happen? It happened quite a bit, didn't it?
Rebel Moon.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Rebel Moon.
Why do you keep that going? That doesn't need to. That does not need to exist in our fucking community zeitgeist. You can leave it. Don't bring it back.
No.
Let it die.
No.
Kill it. Kill it if you have to.
Now, to be fair,
Let
Rebel Moon
Moon die. Kill it if you have to.
To be fair, Rebel Moon is more a shitty 40K knockoff than shitty Star Wars knockoff.
But it was supposed to be Star Wars. Was the
It
point
was,
of it.
but they literally
Snyder's whole thing was like, what if I made a Star Wars?
What if I made this they had ships where we shovel bones into a furnace that feeds a star god that we power our ships from? Okay. All right, little edgy boy. By the way, you stole this from 40K. This is literally just the Catan.
And yeah, what if we have the Star God cry?
Yeah, cry.
For years, one reason the prequels are well liked by a certain generation years later is partially because of that world building. It's not character writing. The character writing is sometimes absurd.
I don't like sand. It's core.
Oh God! Stop bringing
God
up this
damn it,
line.
It's the easiest fucking.
But even it's not even
the easiest line to make fun of when it's like it makes sense. Like when you really think about like the characterization of Anakin talking to Padme, that's not even the problem. So here's the thing: he is not necessarily wrong because the prequels kept the world building going and made it more interesting for things like games and novels, comic books. Like it paved the way for quote unquote better material. Like so that we could keep that world building going, but at the same time, like compared to the sequels, where it just fucking killed it. It said the universe didn't move on.
pretty much.
It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Some of the lines' dialogue are terrible, but the world building and lore is so intricate and so richly developed that it still draws people in regardless of these shortcomings. The Disney era saw the end of the original expanded universe, which meant a ton of world building was being tossed out, replaced by a vaguely defined conflict between the First Order and Resistance. But in that first film, we don't know who these two groups really are. We have a vague idea, but nothing concrete. The plot of the film is essentially a fetch quest that turns into a stop the big superweapon quest. In effect, it's the same plot structure as A New Hope, the first film.
Except if it was literally just the same plot as A New Hope, the movie would actually be better than it is. That's the thing. It's A New Hope but worse. It's the New Hope plot structure but worse.
Yeah. Yeah, because let's not forget that, for example, like, one of the key things is, like, could you imagine how fucking weird it would have been if Luke and Vader fought in A New Hope and Luke won?
Yeah,
it would take tension right out of everything.
Yeah,
like, that's one of the biggest mistakes they did make, where I was just like, why have Rey beat him, like, in the first movie? Now Kylo has been neutered as a villain.
Because she's a woman. Here I go. Here I am. Here I am. The lightsaber would be perfect when it fits a woman.
It already does. It's the perfect shape.
In A New Hope, a young hero named Luke on a desert planet encounters two droids looking for a princess and goes on a mission to save her. And they end up learning the Empire is a Death Star, a giant superweapon that can blow up planets, and the film ends with them blowing up said superweapon. In The Force Awakens, a young hero named Rey on a desert planet encounters a droid and a escaped stormtrooper who has a map to Luke Skywalker. So she goes to bring the map to the Resistance, and they learn about Starkiller Base, a giant superweapon.
You're also forgetting that she can pilot the Millennium Falcon better than Han Solo.
Way to oversimplify the first fucking
his...
Star Wars movie.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think he's building to a point, so let's see.
That can blow up solar systems, and the film ends with them blowing it up. It's the same plot. So if they have the same plot...
On paper, yes.
Not.
Well, hang on. He's getting to his point.
That means they must both be equally good, right? Right? J.J. Abrams is known for his plot-driven mystery box stories. Stories where the mystery of what will happen next drives action over characterization or even everything else. The idea that withholding from giving answers carries you through narrative from plot beat to plot beat.
I find myself...
Okay, I think we can finally comment on it. It's not the same. It's the same plot in the basic idea on paper. It is not in execution. I'm sorry.
He should have been executed.
True, but like
I'm more waiting for this next thing where it's like where it's JJ talking about the mystery box, which, by the way, I've always thought is probably one of the stupidest fucking. Like, ever since he coined the phrase and made this TED Talk specifically about it, I've started to hate the term. Because I think the only mystery box that truly gets away with it is Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. I still think it's Marcella Wallace's soul.
Like,
I still think it's a really cool lunchbox.
Yeah. I just think it's a briefcase with a light in it.
Well, that's what it
is.
My God.
I think the one that pissed me off the most was, besides how the fuck did Anakin's lightsaber end up with Maz Kanata, I really don't like the fucking build-up they have about the rabbit's foot in Mission Impossible 3. That really pisses me off, because it's like, what the fuck is this thing? And they just refuse to tell us.
Don't you understand? It's how Tom Cruise looks so young.
Drawn
if it's an anti-aging drug, that actually wouldn't have been too bad.
Huh. True.
Infinite possibility and that sense of potential, and I realized that mystery is the catalyst for imagination. Now, it's not the most groundbreaking idea, but when I started to think that maybe there are times when mystery is more important than knowledge, I started getting interested in this.
But the problem is with Force Awakens, none of the mysteries that Abrams sets up are resolved in the film, nor do they actually matter with the resolution of the film. The mysteries are ultimately unimportant to the plot of this individual film. It doesn't really matter where Luke is or what he was doing in The Force Awakens, because the goal of the film is to save a map to get to where Luke is.
But it does matter to know what the hell Luke was doing, because why the fuck isn't he here?
Also,
That is-
how the fuck did lightsaber get there? Seriously, that like it's like this fell down a fucking shaft, and possibly like you know anything about like the way
Space.
Bespin's atmosphere
Yeah,
sets
that's
up.
when our
It's a
gas
fucking it's a
giants
gas
are,
giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that because
That lightsaber's gone. Like, which doesn't even like that's how, which is shit even in the old EU, because Luke eventually gives his old lightsaber to Mara like as a wedding gift, and it's just like,
Tamara?
how the hell did that thing survive?
Why
yeah.
does he give it today? Why is he giving her tomorrow?
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
The MacGuffin is not
every time he does that, I've just put another quarter in the jukebox.
It's
the
way
same
to find
song
it.
again.
Luke is not the direct conflict. It's also ultimately unimportant in The Force Awakens who Rey's parents are, because the conflict is not who they are, but will they come back to Jakku? Should Rey wait for her parents? That's the big conflict of the story. But even
And then but isn't it? It is kind of resolved when Maz Kanata says your parents are never coming back, so there's no point in dwelling on them. Unless like move on. It is kind.
And then and then Maz Kanata reaches forward, and then shuts Rey's mouth.
Just
breathe through your nose. I know an orthodontist.
It was a really weird like scene, but like I appreciate it being like a 55-minute makeout scene between the two. I thought it was just really well done. Like,
friends.
At
Just
itself
really
is kind of
tasteful,
unrelated, because all that really does is anchors Rey to the planet of Jakku for a bit before the actual plot kicks in Act 2. Also, it's unimportant who Snoke is, because Snoke is...
No. It is vitally important who Snoke is.
This man is the reason why Luke Skywalker is in hiding. Do you understand what that means?
He's the reason why he's the reason why the First Order is even around. Like
sorry, I watched the latest movies. Why get fucked?
And he's the reason why Starkiller Base was being built. Which, by the way, how the fuck was no one able to deduce that all of these resources were going to this one fucking planet, and no one no one noticed
a planet.
The entire
planet that has significant well,
and
not only that, a planet that has very
it was ironically made
significant-
worse because of that one game or whatever, because it shows it being
Jedi
made, so yes.
Jedi Outcast. Or sorry, no, Jedi Fallen Order.
No, not
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, which basically says that, oh, it turns out Starkiller Base was fucking Ilium, a planet of great importance to the Jedi Order, which, by the way, Luke would totally fucking know about, because if nobody wrote that down, like, that's just even worse. That's even more retarded, because, like, I understand the archives were probably destroyed by the Emperor, but even something like that would probably have been written down. So the idea of a planet of such significance has been hollowed out and turned into a super duper Death Star being... How the fuck did previous Imperial officials not know about this shit? Like, imagine just, like, some guy who's just chilling in the Senate. It was, like, a former, like, Imperial, like, commander or something who was just on, like, Ilium for, like, 5 minutes, like, hey, wait a second.
Oh, yeah, we're totally building a giant Death Star. Can you give me a pardon?
And by the way, the amount of resources they would need to like accumulate stuff would look so fucking suspicious. Even if they were getting it all on the black market, which I highly doubt that but whatever. Let's say that they were.
That you can't get that kind of equipment on the black market to hollow out a fucking planet.
No, I'm
damn near impossible.
Yeah, but like even granting that, which just for the sake of the argument. The amount of like imports and exports to that planet that would be recorded would look suspicious as hell. Like, why are so many ships going to this fucking planet?
Why are you sending 50 million units of kyber crystals? Wait, what the fuck?
And you're also telling me this
why
this
is
planet...
no independent contractor fucking leaked this shit? Like, oh, by the way, I installed the plumbing in Starkiller Base. I think we should be worried about this thing, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It has plumbing. It has all of this. It has all of this stuff. Like, there would be reports,
It has the sanitation
records.
department for Finn to work in, because he's a fucking janitor.
Yeah, and apparently sanitation department is so fucking well informed. They know the ins and outs of the entire facility.
It's
God,
just
what a fucking dumbass movie.
it is
You're
so
telling me
fucking
no
terrible.
Stormtrooper fucking ran for the hills to just go, oh my god, look at this thing, and then everybody just goes, oh shit! Everybody just starts pulling up blasters and starships. They're just like, we gotta blow this thing up.
Well, here's the thing:
We gotta stop this
Starkiller
immediately.
Base is like, in terms of like a cosmic sense, pretty close to like the New Republic planets. Tell me the New Republic wouldn't be able to like detect any horse shit going on there.
Fuck it, hold on. I could.
I'm
gonna pull out
literally everybody
Tism.
in the fucking galaxy sees it happen.
Yeah.
Right
Stupidest
there.
part about the fact.
Yeah, like everybody
that's
is
where
like, everybody's
JJ
like looking outside their fucking window at their fucking summer house. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's the stupid part about JJ, because he stole something from the fucking galaxy gun, which is the idea that those beams travel through fucking hyperspace. That's why everyone could see them, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? You gotta explain that shit, because otherwise it looks like they're 5 feet away.
Yeah, it's
It's like closer.
But the point is, once again, Tony talks about Star Wars. Once again, he's wrong on almost every single count. The man didn't understand the Phantom Menace, Max.
Well, yeah, it's because it's a move by Mirio, not a movie.
The factor.
Yeah, fuck.
God,
He just is a
every time
corrupting presence.
bringing that up,
Kylo Ren's
it's like, of all the movies to not understand the Phantom Menace, which is blatantly spelled out to you, that still bugs me. How the fuck do you not understand the Phantom Menace?
Because he's not he wrote for Kotaku and CBR, all right.
Because when he told that Sebulba always wins, he was like, wait, how did he lose?
He always wins. He should have immediately, even without 2 engines, should have just immediately teleported past the finish line.
He does is anchors Rey to the planet of Jakku for a bit before the actual plot kicks in Act 2. Also, it's unimportant who Snoke is, because Snoke isn't a factor. He just is a corrupting presence in Kylo Ren's life, and drives Kylo Ren to do bad. No.
But we
wait, hang on, wait a minute. Doesn't that mean he's important, you fucking moron?
Yeah, he Ben Solo, nephew to Luke Skywalker, grandson to Darth Vader, is corrupted by this evil shadowy figure. He's not important.
Nightmare to you.
And like he's also a very seminal
That'd be
important
like
figure
if-
within the First Order. Oh wait, that means Snoke's important. Okay.
No.
That'd be like if he looked at the first movie and said the Emperor isn't important to A New Hope. It's like he dissolved the Senate. He effectively has declared, I am king of space now.
And again, Snoke is responsible for the First Order forming. How the New Republic didn't fucking even notice this shit happening, whatever. But he basically reformed
They
the
don't
Empire.
have a military.
They have the Resistance for whatever fucking reason.
The Resistance.
Yeah, but no, like it's incredibly important to know who Snoke is and what he did because the story has him as the supreme leader of what is effectively what is just the Empire version 2. That's immensely important. We have to know how he did this shit. Like,
I'm trying to understand. That's just fan stuff.
Shut the fuck up, Quentin.
that pause at just such a fucking perfect moment. That as I said that, I just heard Gramuglia go, no.
Abrams sets up need to be resolved in this film, nor do they actually drive the plot of what's happening, because they're disconnected, and that's a big problem. This disconnect results in the plot feeling like it's working on multiple levels, but these levels never intersect. It's not that the plot is poorly structured, but rather the driver of the plot is disconnected from the events taking place.
But it is poorly structured. What do you mean? Oh my god.
So not only is the driver blind, but the road is also made of tinfoil. Like that, like almost as like these movies are fucking shit.
Yeah.
What's wrong about?
Like Poe just somehow survives that crash landing. Apparently, his body disappeared as well. Finn, or did it sink in the, or did the TIE fighter sink into the sand? I can't remember.
Well, it's because Oscar Isaac.
It sunk into the sand. Yeah, that's the reason. But no, it sunk into the sand and then exploded.
Okay, yeah, all right.
and then the explosions released a bunch of little mini nukes, and they exploded. And then it ignited the atmosphere.
Awakens is a story set in a pre-established world that experiences a time skip. It isn't immediately clear how things have meaningfully shifted since we last saw this world in the original trilogy. It immediately forces people to go, wait, how did we get here? That takes you out of the conflict in a way the original film didn't by being the first introduction to this world. It slides you in the middle of a conflict you can figure out. This one, not so much, because we have prior information that we're trying to connect to this.
So you could say that this prior information's failure to connect affects the plot.
It affects us.
Because world building is part of the plot. I will argue this till I'm
obvious.
my last
Yes.
fucking breath.
Yeah, world building is connected to the plot, like 100%. World building very often affects the plot in dramatic ways.
But the problem is in The Force Awakens, the spectacle is familiar. We've seen it before. We've already seen droids. We've already seen the giant superweapon. And we've already seen the lightsaber fights. It doesn't hit as hard when it's just a pale reflection of what we saw before. And more problematic is how the characters just don't land. I'm not saying necessarily that Star Wars had great characters. A lot of them were stock. But they were at least...
We already made
You're
the
just
point.
gonna keep
I know
poking
you're-
at
I know
that,
you're
aren't
angry.
you?
The anger
Well, it's
sharks
'cause,
are
like,
swimming in my head.
It's not even. It's like he almost like said that in general though. He didn't just say that of the original trilogy. It almost feels like because he's got extended universe. Like there's Darth Plagueis behind him. He's almost saying that almost yeah, Bastila Shan isn't a great character. Revan, Darth Maul, almost everybody in KOTOR
Listen,
isn't
if
a
you
great
even
character.
mockingly
It's
say
like,
that Kreia is not a good character, I'll fucking reach the screenshot.
No, she's like one of my favorite villains in the entire franchise. Like,
she's one of the greatest villains of all time.
Yeah, you honestly could make that argument.
You could easily make that fucking
really
argument.
Yeah, I would need to do another deep dive into her character to really enforce on that. But
Somebody made a
will
really
definitely
fucking
agree
awesome
at the moment.
3-hour video on her character, dude. It's fucking amazing. You should check it out. I'll send it to you later.
Yeah, I also just need to replay KOTOR 2.
You should also
Because
play
it's
KOTOR
been
2,
a
because
it's been a
KOTOR 2
while.
is fucking amazing. Everybody should go play. Stop watching this guy's video and go watch go watch KOTOR 2.
But that requires time.
Yeah, we're watching this.
Good.
Compelling. Finn is honestly the most interesting of all the characters introduced in The Force Awakens. He's an ex-stormtrooper who's on the run before finding something worth fighting for. That concept works and only gets diminished in each subsequent film. I think Kylo Ren's
worth fighting.
I can agree with that. Finn's in concept is the most interesting character in TFA.
Yeah, he's great. Fucking weird, man-child man-baby getting so fucking angry. But that could be very useful as a villain thing, because it's oh wait, the Sith are actually empowered by the
I said
rage
Finn.
and fucking
I said Finn.
Oh. Well, okay, so Finn would actually be a really good character for the dark side because he is already dark. See, it's the little subtleties. Did you know that stormtroopers, despite making
That's awful. I think one of the biggest problems, however, is the fact that they gave up on Finn's story pretty much immediately for Rey. They didn't even get off Jakku before it's okay, this is just the Rey movie.
Well, the marketing lied to us. There's the teaser trailer. That initial teaser trailer lied to us. We thought that Finn was going to be the main character because he had the lightsaber, and we barely saw, or we saw Rey, but she wasn't that prominent in the trailers. But no, it's like, oh, Rey's the main character. Oh, we can't have Finn? I want Finn.
Yeah.
I could have settled for Poe, to be honest, because I basically just want Top Gun, but Star Wars. I've been asking for it for so long.
I think the movie would be like really interesting if they just removed Rey. Just top.
Oh, she's just like her tits out are out the whole movie.
I mean,
That-
I would think
that
she's
at the
a
very
very
least would
compelling
give something to
character
look at.
It's very engaging.
It just shows Max's head just tilting down.
like literally in the theater, like and my fucking eyes just like glued to the screen, like they actually like fucking grow to the size of this thing and smush up against it. It's like the movie is made of movie.
I see. Please continue.
Go on.
In The Force Awakens, he's an ex-stormtrooper who's on the run before finding something worth fighting for. That concept works. It
Worth
only
fighting
gets
for.
diminished
Sorry, I
in
did
each
it again.
subsequent film. I think Kylo Ren's best stuff is later on, but even that first film,
It's not.
No, calm down. His best stuff is at the beginning. That's it.
His best stuff is in TFA. Like he only becomes worse.
you get someone who
Yeah, it's because
wants
they just decided we had to just have a knockoff Darth Vader who just has fucking anger issues. Like I said it once and I'll say it again. What made Darth Vader especially intimidating in the first movie was because he remained so calm, except for those moments where he finally did raise his voice, and you're just like, oh shit, something has definitely happened if he's this pissed that he's finally doing it.
I want them alive.
He does raise the he does raise his voice in the first fucking scene he's in. Calm down, chill.
Well, yeah, because he's looking for the Death Star plans, but
Yeah, I
then
know,
the
but I'm
moment
saying, that
the-
contradicts like what you're saying. Like he's already angry in like the first time we see him.
but he's not like murdering his own men, and also like remember the first scene we see of Kylo Ren. One of the first scenes of Kylo Ren is like, we need to interrogate somebody. Oh, you're not gonna be like, you can't run away from your family. Oh, you're right, and then he just kills him. It's like you could have done something with that, Kylo. You just decided to kill one of your only leads. You're lucky Poe didn't just fucking run for it.
Yeah.
to be this Dark Lord like Vader, like his grandfather. He falls short of being a villain and is born into a family of heroes. And that conflict, that's interesting stuff, even though it doesn't really play directly into the conflict of the film outside of the scene where he kills Han Solo. But the big problem is that Finn and Kylo Ren are not the main characters. They're supporting characters in Rey's story. A lot of people will just point to Rey and call her a Mary Sue, but I don't really
Because she is.
Yeah.
Because she is.
think that's really it. Aside from the mind control scene, nothing she does is particularly out of line for other Star Wars protagonists thus far.
Yes it is.
Why is Luke a good pilot? Why is Luke a good pilot? Because he's been doing this shit forever. Why is Rey a good
I
pilot?
used to bullseye one breath.
Because I bypassed the compressor.
Did you bypass the compressor? Oh, wow, can she fly the Millennium Falcon so well? Shut up,
She
idiot.
bypassed the compressor. Dude, okay, look, I'm gonna have to say it. You understand?
Not to.
Bypass
I mean,
compressor.
the Millennium Falcon. I mean, let's not forget that the fucking Falcon hasn't flown in years, apparently. So
How is she such a good
imagine how
shot
funny
with
would that
a
been?
pistol? Because shut up, idiot.
How funny would that have been, by the way, when they get on the Falcon? It's equal to like turning the key, but there's no gas in the tank, so it's just the revving sound. It's like, oh shit.
And also,
they just get blown up.
And then he tries to call AAA to give him gas, and then he tries to rev up the phone, and it doesn't.
And also, she beats Kylo Ren in their first encounter. She just like closes her eyes and then goes, "I am good," and then starts busting out moves that like you would need to train
busting
for.
it down sexual style.
I was about to say, like, she just starts breakdancing. What the fuck are you saying?
Let me break it down for you, poem.
But no. Rey's skill set is not like other Star Wars protagonists, like at all.
And besides, that same year, we had Jurassic World come out, a movie that I think does have a military in the.
First off, that's not from the first Jurassic World.
Also, like I don't know why that sounded like such a non sequitur. What were you talking about? Jurassic World came out.
But also, like, would you call Chris Pratt's character a Gary Stu, or would you just call him kind of a nothing character? I would more put him in the category of a nothing character than a Gary Stu, because
I wouldn't really classify him as a Gary Stu.
Because like
classify him as like perfectly competent, like as a character.
Because his ability to like effectively like, you know, communicate or like calm down the raptors is because he's worked with them since they were, you know, for a long time. He knows them. He knows their patterns and behaviors. He comes with a set of pre-established skills. Ray doesn't come with any sort of pre-established skills when it comes to piloting, shooting, or lightsaber combat.
Hell, had they actually done it properly, one of the only couple scenes that actually introduces a skill set she would actually have is when she yanks out a lot of the components that that unlocks the doors in Starkiller Base. It's like, oh yeah, because she's been around a lot of imperial like architecture when it comes to like circuit boards and shit. Because I don't know, I was about to say, because in Star Wars for some reason, if you can navigate a Star Destroyer, you can navigate a fucking hallway. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. The point being is like her experience as a scrapper, she knows like where to basically rip out a fuse in a fuse box.
Yeah.
But then it also at the same time fucks her over because we've made fun of it already. But I bought best the compressor because yeah, you can't just rip out a part of a ship that's actively flying. Like, the end result of that scene is that the Falcon explodes.
Yeah, you can. You walk up to you can rip out any component. You can just walk up to the front windshield while fucking Han's about to punch it and just what?
No, just rip out. No, just while you're in the middle of hyperspace, just rip out the hyperdrive.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Mind control, dinosaur controlling hero.
He doesn't mind control the dinosaurs. He's worked with them. He understands. Okay, so maybe it becomes that later. It kind of becomes that later in the movies, especially when we get to Dominion, where he's doing the thing to the Paris.
I really like the narrative that he's like, dude, I just watched Star Wars. Obviously, this is the mind trick. That's clearly what this is.
But no,
he's holding up his hand and saying, "You don't need to see the meat on my bones." Chris Pratt's character is not a Gary Stu. He's not mind controlling the raptors. Fun fact, does anybody remember how this scene plays out? Yeah, he almost gets fucking eaten.
Yes,
because he almost gets killed.
He is literally seconds from getting eaten. I don't even know. It's kind of the idea. It's like, do we eat this guy? He's kind of cool. He feeds us.
Because I'm just going by the first movie, because in Dominion it's established that he worked with all of them since they were chicks, which would mean they would have imprinted on him as their mom. So them being being more tolerant of his existence here doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but whatever. We'll just go with the first movie. He's again,
maybe dinosaur mom relationships are very hostile. I don't know.
Well, don't you see? We looked at this bone and determined that this thing's favorite food was chicken.
Well, Wyatt. According to the Jurassic Park movies, that's not true. We know how dinosaur relationships were. Lost World, Jurassic Park.
Don't you understand? We 3D printed a vocal cord, and so now we're gonna communicate with
No,
them.
not a vocal cord. It was the nasal passage and the resonance chamber in the nose.
Sense. You can't fucking breathe through my fucking nose hole in my fucking skull, which is clearly available, and you can just do that, and it recreate my fucking voice. Everybody's gonna go, oh my god, he's breathing into that guy's skull. What the fuck?
Well, the thing is, it would make more. The thing is, it would make a lot more. It would make more sense if it was a parrot.
Why is that? Why is that Toon Man holding a severed head?
The thing is, it would.
Still talking.
It would.
I'm going to New York with you.
It would make more sense if it was like a parrot.
They just throw him at him.
It'd make more sense if it was the crest of a Parasaurolophus, because that actually was like a passageway for air.
Yeah, like it actually was like made for air, like that.
Yeah.
Fucking Velociraptor thing is fucking weird.
It was weird, but
That's why I
no.
really like the fucking nostalgia critic bits. It's like, oh my god, she's got fucking diarrhea. Let's get the fuck away from her.
But
like the subtitles for like the rappers.
But no, Tony. This is not him mind controlling the fucking raptors in this specific movie. It's so stupid.
I completely forgot that's what we're talking about.
Sorry, it kills me because that's like, imagine, that's why he's holding his hands out. He's like, I will now enter your mind like Professor X.
And the fucking raptors are like,
like
nah,
he's mind
get
controlling
out
their
of my mind.
Velociraptors, forcify your minds.
For Star Wars protagonists thus far. And besides, that same year, we had Jurassic World come out, a movie that I think does have a Mary Sue in the form of Chris Pratt's mind-control, dinosaur-controlling hero, who could just solve all problems by waving his hands in front of his face.
Yeah, see, like, he did show the part. He did just show the part.
You literally just showed the part where
almost dies.
Yeah, where he almost dies because guess what? Did you ever consider the implication is the gesture is it because we get a scene of him like actually working with the raptors and then recognizing like the click means something, that they could get food, that potentially these gestures have a meaning with their relationship, and when he puts his hand out in front of them that means like slow down or stop or whatever, and the second that he bolts it triggers a predator response and they chase him. God.
I really now want the idea of like when he throws out his hands, we just hear Duel of Fates like.
Well, like, even in the later,
I want the Ego Raptor version.
Even in like the later film, even like in the later films like Dominion, and when we first see him and he does the hand thing to the Parasaurolophus and he like calms it down. Even which, by the way, that's retarded and nonsense. But even then, I would argue that's not him being a Gary Sue. That's just the director not understanding what the fuck that gesture actually means. Like,
I'm gonna edit the sequence now to when like he's holding out his hands. I'm gonna like have Force Lightning come out. He's just like he's getting into the raptor's head via lightning powers.
Yes.
Unlike Ray, Chris Pratt does dilute the
Stop
drama.
asking me who I.
Wait, hold on.
Hero, who could just solve all problems by waving his hands in front of his face. Unlike Ray, Chris Pratt does dilute the drama and tension of every scene he's in.
How?
No.
He doesn't.
Like, okay, that movie is trash, but that scene's actually really cool. Like him mind controlling the raptors.
What about him and
I'd argue the first 20 minutes of Jurassic World is fine.
Yeah, like it's really cool because it shows that he's willing to risk his life for like other people like that because he knows he could mind control them.
And again, Tony, the reason why they stopped is because he's worked with them. Like, they have a relationship. It's stated in that scene where it's like, no, if you fire on these animals, they'll never trust me again.
Hey, in the movie, like, you guys might remember it more than I, because I only watched it once and I like tried to purge it from my memory. Does this little kid like almost get grabbed again? He's sitting right there on the bar.
Yeah, I think so. But like the snout, I think it's like right next to him or whatever.
No,
but the snout like is
no.
too big.
So what happens? No, like I forgot what his fucking. I almost said Kurt, but Chris Pratt's character is just like, hey, don't have your back to the pen, and yeah, he almost gets got again.
Yeah. But no, every scene he's in does not like zap tension away. Like the tension of him and Bryce Dallas Howard, like in the Indominus Rex, and them having the conversation of like, yeah, you literally grew this monster in a lab. It has no social skills whatsoever. Because guess what? They're trying to explain why the Indominus Rex is the way it is. Even though, granted, the Indominus Rex is a stupid concoction from an in-universe and just a general writing perspective of all the retarded nonsense they put inside of it. But Shut the fuck.
I don't follow.
We gave it tree frog DNA so they could control its body temperature. That's
I was gonna say
that's
it's
not
super
how it
fucking
works.
cool because it understands the nuances of like electronics or whatever.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
We put a fucking bullfrog's like tongue in it, so now it understands how technology works.
It remembers where they put it. It's like it wouldn't know what it does, but more importantly, even if it was bothering it and whatnot, why didn't it rip it out while it was still in its fucking cage? Like,
I'll do you. No, I'm gonna do you one like even better. Why the fuck design like this super fucking like cool ass dinosaur, but it can camouflage itself? Something that they probably would have seen after day fucking 3 of it being in its paddock, because there's no way that it didn't already try to do something like this.
well, you see, they needed the cuttlefish DNA as a thing to do the thing to do the thing.
Oh. Thanks for explaining.
Like
that.
the moment.
I understand it much better.
The moment that they found out it had camouflage, they would immediately be like, "Oh shit!" In terms of like entertainment value, there's a good chance no park guest will see it. Unfortunately, we may have to put it down. Like that's what would probably happen, because let's face it, if you're breeding dinosaurs for mass entertainment, they probably don't care that much about their new attractions when they're in the workshop phase.
But more importantly, why would you like spend so much fucking money on this one thing when you can have a much greater value with, I don't know, an exhibit of all these smaller feathered dinosaurs that can like glide and some can fly, and some maybe aquatic exhibits of other animals, or, you know, open up a new wing with like ice-aged mammals like mammoths and smilodons and American lions, because we actually have the DNA for those in the real world. Don't have to rely on mosquito and genetic engineering horse shit. We have more complete genomes of those.
You just made that up.
Saber-toothed cat.
Smilodon.
Yeah, smilodon.
That's smile.
Whatever. He's wrong about.
Why don't
Chris
we just
Pratt.
have a raptor? Why don't we just have a raptor fight a lion? I'd pay money for that.
Well,
Here's the thing, like,
what
this,
kind of raptor?
to steel man the camo thing, because like the idea is they're trying to learn how to train dinosaurs. Like the idea is you make it camouflage and then have it run at the fucking paddock.
But no, that's the thing. The Indominus Rex, that wasn't what it was made to do. The whole military dinosaur thing was Vincent D'Onofrio's idea that he was peddling. It wasn't something the park people actually wanted to do.
Right, look,
they wanted something
you have way too
entertaining.
much knowledge of that fucking movie. I'm sorry. I end this debate not because you won, but because I actually feel bad for you. No, it's retarded. Jake, I'm not even like memeing. I was like, oh god, you remember that movie? I'm so fucking sorry, dude.
I had to make a video about the Indominus Rex. Okay.
Hold on, what you just did was that equivalent in Robot Chicken when Darth Vader's explaining more shit to Luke, and it's like, and Luke just walks across the beam and goes, "Look, if you're not gonna take this seriously, I'm out of here." That's what Max just fucking did. He just went, "You know what? I'm out of here."
You know what? You're taking this way too seriously. I'm out of here.
But the problem is not that Ray's a Mary Sue.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
She's not.
The problem is she's just basic and boring. There's not a...
Okay,
almost like a Mary Sue. Like,
almost
so,
like a Mary Sue, yeah.
Mutually exclusive. Like, why would you do that? Why would you set that up?
You know,
it's like the easiest dunk ever. It's like, yeah, sure, dumbass.
But like, I can't even think of a Mary or Gary Stu character that, like, at the very least, like, yeah, they're broken and the story just breaks, but like, sure, they sure are entertaining, because it's like one leads to the other. I can't, like, fuck. Is there a good Gary Stu character that is not like, that isn't like in an example of like a video game that isn't the player character,
or isn't a parody, right?
I was about to say the characters I create in my YARP offense.
Well, so I was going to say that isn't the player character.
No, that is basically yeah. That's what I was like, fuck.
I don't.
Cool,
yeah, because let's face it, like, for
example, always sucks his dick even if she's not in the universe.
Well, that's why, it's why I keep bring up like the funny thing of like with Crimson Desert, you are the most fucking broken ass character because you went from like what is essentially a medieval mercenary to a dimension hopping like magic user that can like work
Sonic
old
spin dash.
like old precursor. Yeah, like you can just do all of this shit, like, but because you're controlled by the player, like the only reason this character would ever die is if you fuck up. Let's face it. If anyone wrote like a novelization of Crimson Desert, and it would be, and then Cliff killed them all at the end.
Oh, dude, I love the Shadow of the Conqueror.
God damn it.
Doesn't have a whole lot of doesn't have a whole lot of graping in there because I really like it when people take that small fruit and make it.
Make it into wine.
Jesus.
I mean,
A whole lot to her. She's a scrapper on a desert planet, but doesn't act like a scrapper. It's shown she's had to fight to survive on this desert planet. Yet her fighting style is formal, as opposed to the brutal, frantic struggle you
Is it
expect.
formal?
The environment that
It's not
What are
formal
you
at all.
talking about?
That scene you just showed was her like
somebody
flailing
with a
around.
stick.
Yeah, she smacked him with a stick. That was
Anybody
not
pick up a
formal.
stick and swing it on a motherfucker. Guess what? You with a stick is probably gonna beat a guy without stick. I'm just fucking spoiler alert for the fucking rest of the movie. Yeah, that might happen.
Yeah, weapons tend to do that.
The conversation with Unkar Plot, where she's like, "Oh, yesterday they were like 3/4 of a portion for these parts." Yeah, only somebody who's lived here for this long would understand like the fucking scrap to food conversion rate. Like,
exactly.
Anthony, what you said makes no sense.
created her doesn't seem to have any impact on her personality, appearance, or anything. She doesn't even.
What do you mean an impact on her appearance? She looks like she looks like her clothes are like literally ragtag together, like because she probably can't afford like good clothes.
I kind of agree with the personality jab because Ray should be a lot more cynical.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, she's
than
really,
she
she's
is
really
in this
hopeful,
movie.
Naive and shit like that.
Yeah. Well, she shouldn't. She
When
shouldn't
it's like, you
be
were
naive
basically a
at all.
slave. Like you should be.
Yeah, she shouldn't be naive at all. She should she logically would have experienced a lot more of the grayer areas of the world because she, didn't have any fucking parents like Luke Skywalker, who was a little bit naive.
As I say, I wouldn't even say grayer areas. She's kind of in the shit areas. She's basically fucking literally getting scraps for food. Like, this is pretty shit.
True.
And remember, it's almost like she's not really there of her own free will, because remember her parents
her parents are coming back,
regardless of trust. And then given the Unkar Plot, who has essentially used her for manual labor to get shit. And as she's cleaning, remember, there's that scene where she's cleaning the parts and she sees that old lady, and then that dude comes out of nowhere that's basically like, get back to work. It's like she's not she's not there under the best conditions, to say the least.
Yeah.
Use the bow staff that she gets after her
Don't worry
initial
about it.
fight on Jakku.
After her initial fight on Jakku, shows lightsaber from Tross with Kylo and Rey. Nice use of footage.
The environment no longer influences
Should have been the
Rey.
siphon.
Moving
Honestly,
into
dude,
Act
sorry.
2.
I really can't stress how much that really disappointed me because I fucking grabbed, because I went there with my GameStop manager at the time. His name was Jose, and literally grabbed him. I was like, "Oh my god, she's doing the thing for KOTOR 2." He's like, "What?" The way she closed her eyes like that, she's fucking stealing his techniques, like the dark side user from KOTOR 2. That's fucking radical. And then it didn't happen. I was like, "Oh." But dude, that shit is the coolest shit ever because you're sitting there fighting Jedi Masters and they're like, "How are you beating me? You're cut off from the Force." It's like, "Bitch, I'm taking your Force." It's like, what? Oh god. You're the most dangerous person in the fucking universe.
Or anything. She doesn't even use the bow staff that she gets after her initial fight on Jakku.
Oh, okay,
environment
okay.
no longer
never mind.
influences Rey moving into Act 2. There's a disconnect there. If Rey were a scrappy gremlin with a lot of tinkered weapons crafted from Imperial wreckage, and that tied into how she resolved the plot at the end of the film, I think few people would care if Force Awakens' plot was derivative, because Rey herself would not feel just as derivative. Instead,
It's not that she feels derivative. Well, she does feel derivative, but she's also just a poor derivative of Luke.
doesn't have anything going for her.
Exactly.
Doesn't have parents somehow.
She's basically a female Luke
I
Skywalker.
also, I'm kind of, she's not female Luke. Don't have this argument with me, Anthony. I'm not in the mood. So, I did kind of.
Like a lesbian than she does.
So, but I was supposed to go to the Dodge Station. No, there could have been something interesting with the end of Force Awakens. Imagining just Rey just essentially ripping like pieces of the reactor to shreds. That could have been a lot more interesting than like, all right, we set some explosives, we got Han killed, and then an X-wing flew in the hole and then shot everything else. Like in terms of like how the main plot of Starkiller Base is dealt with. It's like like we could have used her technical skills a lot more.
That's crazy. How could you come up with that idea?
It's almost as if like I just naturally think of this stuff because writing ideas honestly are not that hard. That's what's so annoying.
They're really not.
They're super hard. Wait till we get female Luke Skywalker, and that's all she is.
Elements of characterization that made Luke compelling. The problem isn't that Rey's overpowered. She's actually fairly weak in the...
No, she's not weak. She pulls...
He's saying a woman is weak? Wow, good mansplaining there, you fucking piece of shit.
She defeats a trained Sith in lightsaber combat and pulls a Force ability out of her ass after discovering the Force is not a myth or a legend like yesterday.
It's all real.
Don't you understand? Don't you understand? Kylo got shot in the stomach, which unironically would have actually made him more dangerous. Like knowing what the dark side does to like enhance one's abilities, like him being in pain and even smacking his own wound is like, he's a cornered animal now. You don't want to fuck with that.
Like, and that's the thing, and it could have been reinforced by like, remember his like fucking tantrums before. Like the tantrums could have been like, say it's like, it's this like weird immature thing. It's like, no, yes, he is immature. That's actually really fucking scary. Like Frieza is terrifying because he's a spoiled little brat with the ability to wipe out galaxies. Like, you know what I mean? You piss off Frieza, his tantrum blows up your planet. That's horrible.
Scheme of accomplishments protagonists and stars have accomplished. She doesn't take down a space station all by herself like Anakin, nor does she stop the Death Star single-handedly like Luke does.
Single-handedly, right?
Single-handedly, right? Because he totally would have been able to make it through the fucking
You're
trench.
all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.
It totally wasn't for Han Solo that got Darth Vader off his back.
She didn't single-handedly do it, by the way. It was Poe and Finn who did it.
Yeah. And also, like, you know,
he doesn't even remember his movie properly.
No, he doesn't. And also, Luke. Oh no, Darth Vader's on me. Han Solo comes in to save the day.
And also, like,
I don't understand.
Also, then Obi-Wan used the Force, Luke. Like,
and also, like, guess what, Anthony? Anakin, at the age of 9, going into that Lucre Hulk and destroying its core is also fucking stupid.
Yeah.
He's a child operating a fucking spaceship.
Dude, like, he did a barrel roll. That was a good trick.
I'll try spitting. That's a neat trick.
Shit, I even said it wrong.
Yeah, like Phantom Menace Anakin is a Gary Stu. Anakin,
if you bumped him up to like, if you made him like 15, I think we could get closer.
Now I'm going to come in first place.
Yeah.
You know what would have been really cool, like actually to fix that, to make that a little bit better, is every now and then you just see Qui-Gon's hand go up when all of the fucking racers pull around, and just 4 of the fucking pods just go down.
like Qui-Gon just rigged the fucking race.
Qui-Gon is just fucking the race up.
I would kill for that movie, like doing what he did with the dice, but like to the race itself.
Yeah, he just like pulls out like a cable on one guy, like fucking pops a fuel line on another. Like, you know what I mean? Just tiny tweaks that just blow the fucking other stars, like the pods, like out of the fucking water.
And that would even show creative uses of the
Did
Force.
I?
And Padme's like, "Oh, you Qui-Gon," and then just zooms in on their faces.
Now, like,
It's
also, yeah, he's never even finished a pod race. He's gonna win first place with a pod he built from scrap metal.
But somehow it's the fastest pod in the universe. What? How?
Actually,
nigga?
a more-
What did you do? You cheated.
I love
Experienced
I love the extra shit about this, by the way, the fact that, like, in lore tidbits, after the Boon to Eve Classic, Sebulba bought Anakin's pod. He's just like, oh, mine's not working anymore, can I have yours?
Just like the idea that it's just Sebulba's pod with the 2 extra pods on the side that are Anakin's pods. Now it's super fast.
Oh man, I love that
like
movie.
The big orange ones, but then they have the tiny little like fucking yellow and blue ones on the side.
I don't got time for coffee.
On a side note, are you guys actually excited for Galactic Racer? I kind of am. If they actually pull off
really.
So
I was honestly more
if
excited
it's
about
space,
I was more excited about the orc fucking racing game, to be honest.
we still need to play Speed Freaks for like either a video or a
that,
stream.
but like, dude, that game, like, that scratches an itch that hasn't really been touched. Like the fucking, oh, this is just another fucking quirky racer game, yeah, whatever. But like this one is like, oh shit, the boys are getting down.
Well, well, no,
When's the last time-
what was it?
have the orcs ever even got a game before?
They got Shoota's something in Teeth, which was like an not an isometric. It was a 2D like platformer shooter game, which is mainly done with more of a comedic aspect, which is fine. It's the orcs.
It's the orcs. So they kind of have to be that.
Yeah, the only thing that might interest me with Galactic Racer would be just the hint that if it's Burnout but Star Wars.
Oh
okay,
yeah. Okay, wait,
because...
I forgot. Yeah, that was the aspect of it. Like it was actually like they did the Burnout camera angles, and like that actually kind of got me hyped.
It's like, yeah, if you're Burnout but in space, I think
Sick.
I'll be perfectly fine because that's awesome.
Yeah.
The problem
Fair
isn't
enough.
that Rey's overpowered. She's actually fairly weak in the vast scheme of accomplishments protagonists and stars have accomplished. She doesn't take down a space station all by herself like Anakin, nor does she stop the Death Star single-handedly like Luke does. It's actually a more experienced pilot who takes down Starkiller Base on his own. No,
I thought he
Rey's
said she
problem
did.
is she's just...
Yeah,
deliberate.
wait. Can you go back? Can you go back and make sure you replay that? I think he actually did misspeak.
Okay.
Nor does she stop the Death Star single-handedly like Luke does. It's actually a more experienced pilot who takes
Yeah,
the
he
south
did say that
south.
wrong.
Instead, she's
He said that
basically
he
a
noticed that
female
she
Luke
did that.
made Luke
It's like-
compelling.
No, I think he
problem
said
isn't that
nor.
Rey's overpowered. She's actually fairly weak in the vast scheme of accomplishments protagonists and stars have accomplished. She doesn't take down a space station all by herself like Anakin, nor does she stop the Death Star single-handedly.
Nor does she.
Nor, okay. It sounded like he said notice. She stopped. Like, slow down, my guy.
Yeah.
The fucking lisp is not helping anything.
Like, that's why it's like, why are you speed running this video, Anthony? You can talk at a normal pace. Like,
Yeah.
you're not beholden to people constantly begging, like, when's your next video coming out? When's History of Power Rangers coming out?
Yeah, well, that's out.
That's out. But this was kind of this was something that I remember Team Jekt when they talked to him about it, where it's like, yeah, no, you got to slow your pace down, and he kind of slowed his video pace, his pace down when he came to making videos, except only by a little bit. He still has all these completely amateurish mistakes in editing, in pronunciation. He's also like a lot of times just factually incorrect about things. And then of course
something that you'd think would bug the shit out of him, because like I would imagine if
remember
any of
he's
us
his
were in
harshest
his
critic.
position-
By his own admission, he's his harshest
yeah.
critic, and it's like, okay, probably not harsh enough.
Yeah, I'd imagine if we were all like in his position and we saw even the smallest mistake that could very easily be avoided, we'd be kicking ourselves like in the ass, like just going like, God damn it! I need to redo this whole section. There's a reason, like if I remember correctly,
all the times you tell Jake that his fucking thing's quiet, you finally have to 5 times of us telling him to turn up his volume. He did it for his last video. Motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, because
I
the thing is, I kept asking other people.
Oh, yeah, it sounds fine to me. Like, literally every fucking time he'd say that.
Yes, because it does sound. It did sound fine to me.
And then like multiple people in multiple videos, like I've noticed the comments going, "You sound a little quiet." And then all of a sudden now it's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna re-upload the video with my audio a little bit." It's like, okay, fucker.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Because I've also asked other people, and they've also said it was fine. So
It's actually a more experienced pilot who takes down Starkiller Base on his own. No, Rey's problem is she's just derivative. It's that she doesn't bring anything new to the table. And because of that, the plot, which also brings nothing to the table, and the spectacle, which also brings nothing to the table, falter.
even if none of these things brought nothing new to the table, if they're all well executed, it would be well liked. It's not a problem of what is. It's a problem of execution.
I bet your ass we could make like one of the most derivative films on the planet, but if we just actually gave a shit and made sure we didn't fuck up to this level, like we could probably get like a decent amount of attention from it because we just simply made a decent story.
Yeah.
It's not merely plot that's the problem, but a perfectly fine plot.
No, it's a broken plot, but you know,
becomes
repeating stuff
when the other pillars of storytelling do not stand alongside it. In a lot of ways, Rey is Jake Sully. Both bring nothing to the table. Both are shockingly.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, yeah, that is a good comparison.
Hang on, let him.
No, fair enough. The thing that made me chuckle was more just I kind of had that thought a little bit more literally. Like Rey is Jake Sully, and it just shows that shot when she opens the panel, like the very first shot we have of her. It's just Jake Sully's face, really close to the camera.
Jake Sully.
Skilled despite their minimal experience on an alien world, and both are boring because they bring nothing new to the table. So why is one mostly forgotten and one deeply reviled? Maybe it's to do with the fact that fewer people care about what happens in Avatar versus Star Wars. Or it's sexism. Who really knows?
Oh, of course. Yeah, it has to. You gotta throw that dig in there, right? It can't be because she's a terrible character. It must be because she's a woman.
Also, like seriously,
instead of being forgotten, like I feel like one's worse.
Yeah.
Being forgotten is ultimately the worser crime.
That's my favorite line from Mass Effect 2. It's like I will give the genophage the ultimate disgrace of an enemy to be ignored. Fucking great line.
And I love that line. Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
I don't know. I think it's better to be forgotten than to be reviled.
No, that's when you experience your second death.
I'd rather
still talking about Hitler, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and honestly, like I would if I were in that position, I'd rather be forgotten about than talked about.
Once again, like what Wyatt says, I can understand where you're coming from, but it is technically a second death.
Yeah, it's a second death. I don't mind dying twice.
Yeah,
like
heroes never die.
It's going to happen eventually.
Twice.
Yes, but at the same time, like, that being said, if you experience your second death, like, you die when you actually pass away, and then when the last person mentions your name. That's the saying I was going on. Depending on the figure, that's possibly not going to happen until there's just none of us left.
Well, yeah, obviously. Well, yeah, like
we're not going to forget like the Holocaust for a while.
We're not going to forget Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar or right, like or any of them. Obviously, until civilization crumbles or completely resets and stuff.
Civilizations crumble and blow away.
The
everything and everyone.
I think my biggest problem with Jake Sully is also just the fact that they didn't really do anything with him outside of like essentially what his track was supposed to do in the plot. I guess like one of the most memorable things of even the first movie is he managed to capture I forgot the big fucking creature. I almost called him the Red Dragon. It's like that's not what that thing is called.
Taruk.
And that, yeah, and that's what made him the big figure that would unite the tribes of the. I almost said of the Sky People. No, that's what they call the.
Sky People.
Yeah, see that's why we keep Max around. For some reason, he remembers Avatar lore.
I weirdly like Avatar. I don't know. You actually know what it is? I actually know exactly what it is. It's because I really like the game.
Oh,
I've never played that game.
The first
like,
one.
The Xbox, yeah, the Xbox and
Okay.
the Xbox 360 and PS3 one. Like, it is unironically a well-designed game. Actually, it's like very well designed. Weirdly enough. Kind of doesn't run well on the emulators, unfortunately, because I was really looking forward to playing it again. But yeah, it is what it is. I had my fun with it, you know.
Jake Sully.
Like what's I can name like one of his. I can name like one of his quotes, and that's like one of the only humorous moments I had from the second movie, where like Quaritch is challenging him to a fight, and then he just goes, "Let's do it." Like he basically just says, "Fuck
let's go
it."
then, bitch. I'll start my fucking family, motherfucker.
Like, and then I didn't see the third one. I just didn't give enough of a shit to see it. Like, I'm just like, I'm bored of this franchise.
The visuals are really cool, but yeah, to be fair, no, you're not missing much, man.
I mean, if
you
I'm
want to
sure
hear
if
about
I
a
had
guy
seen
wanting
it,
to fuck furries, you could just talk to me.
Yeah, well, that's why you're around as well.
Exactly.
Like, you're the Avatar guy and the furry.
Exactly.
Which is
Luna's
really weird coming from a
leggings,
skeleton.
Are they actually part of her fur? It's very inconsistent.
So Max, you should make Avatar lore videos then.
No.
What are they like? 5 minutes apiece?
Yes.
So this tree is really important to the guys, but they don't really go into it, so I don't have anything to go off of. You know.
And there could be
a comic or anything.
There
so
could
I don't
be
have anything.
There could be extended media. You don't know. There could be an art book.
Motherfucker, I do know. I played it. There's nothing in those games as well. It's just kind of a fun game to play.
There's Frontiers of Pandora.
I want Max to do a lore breakdown.
I have never played
I want
Far Cry, but Pandora.
You don't want
Max
to go
to do, like a lore breakdown.
I'll play that game if they add fucking Navi Voss.
I would kill to play that game.
No, yeah, but he's like the race trader.
No, yeah, he's the
to...
race trader. Like, he is somehow like Puerto Rican, even though he is like a Navi. Like, he's not an Avatar. He actually is like a Navi from Pandora.
But he just speaks like Voss, like one for one.
He just speaks like Voss.
I want Max to make like a lore video on Unobtainium, but it's like a minute long because it's just him going, "Fuck you! Why is it called Unobtainium? You had."
It's just a short. It's called Unobtainium because it's really hard to get, and we don't actually know what it does. It's sometimes bends space and time, but then it's not really elaborated on. Okay, bye.
It just shows you still got like 10 seconds left, so it just shows you getting up from your desk and walking away.
No, it's just a fucking screen. It's just screenshots of Luna. Or just clips from Hell of a Boss where she's just being condescending and mean.
Watching Jake mount that
photoshopped
big
in the corner, so it's like
dragon
she's doing it to you.
So what?
Okay.
Say what?
I was saying, but it just shows you photoshopped in the corner, so it looks like she's doing it to you.
Maybe it's to do with the fact that
I don't know who you
fewer
are.
people care about what happens in Avatar versus Star Wars.
It's that first one. No one gives a shit about Avatar besides the visuals. People gave a shit about Star Wars, and the sequels fucked everything up.
Exactly.
Or it's sexism. Who really knows?
Or it's sexism.
Watching Jake mount that big alien dragon thing. Okay, from a plot and characterization standpoint, it's pretty unfulfilling. Much like Rey and her mind.
No, I wouldn't say it's unfulfilling.
No, don't make me fucking defend Avatar, man.
Also, why'd you say it like that? Like the way he mounted the big dragon. It's like what? Okay.
Like I wouldn't call it unfulfilling, because I remember enough of the first movie to know that that's like a major accomplishment for him, proving that he's with them, as well as doing something that hadn't been done before.
And also doing it in
He's
a way
basically
because
the
these
savior by
fucking
that point.
weird tree people are shown not to be creative at all. He's like, yeah, if he's the top dog, he'll never think to look up, because why the fuck would anybody go after him?
Yeah. So like
he didn't beat Taruk Maktal, which understandably in like the legends is probably they had to like fucking master him and like beat him down or whatever. No, he just outsmarted the fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And these stupid fucking tree people were like, damn, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but I can see why it wouldn't be satisfying in the sense of like who gives a shit about Jake Sully, but like
here's the thing. You could say who gives a shit about Jake Sully, but like if you look in the context of the movie, it does give you the fucking resources to care about him.
Oh, absolutely. The reasons to care about it are there.
At least
it just doesn't
passing job.
Yeah.
It's because he's in a wheelchair, and as we know in this channel, people in wheelchairs move this channel forward. Oh wait, shit. Shit. Fuck. Shit. Oh no, my bad. Sorry, I forgot.
You're in a wheelchair.
You're in a wheelchair.
Control force power.
I just need to create a compilation now of basically all each wheelchair joke we make. Every time we see somebody in a wheelchair, we just go into.
Okay, from a plot and characterization standpoint, it's
what's the matter? Skip leg day? Oh.
What are you gonna do? Run home and cry, mommy? Oh wait.
You like what's that? Are you gonna go kicking and scraping?
I think why I got that. Jake sandbagged it.
I just imagined also the like pushing over the wheelchair. Oh, go ahead, walk it off.
Like I'm gonna drag you kicking and scream. Oh.
Filling, much like.
Why don't you stand up and talk to me?
Come on, come on. There comes a time where you need to stand on your own 2 feet.
You need to show that you can walk tall.
Is Optimus Prime your favorite character because you like to roll out?
Shut up. God damn it, I am not a Transformer.
Well,
not yet.
Not yet.
And her mind control force powers, there's no reason Jake should be able to capture the biggest alien dragon thing when none of the other Na'vi can do.
They literally show you how, though.
They show you how.
The reason why
like good reasoning for why.
The only reason why the other Na'vi do it is because they're too stupid.
Yeah, they're like stupid.
You know,
like, they have this stupid like barbaric fucking pride shit. It's like, nah, fuck that. Just sneak up on him and fucking take him.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, why did I think of that?
Exactly.
Anthony, for a quote-unquote professional, like critic and all of this shit, you don't pay attention to like half the shit that happens in movies.
That's what I'm saying. So like that's like here's the thing. This is why like friendship's important. Because like you guys were saying that about Jake Sully a second ago, and then I was like, no, that's not true or whatever. Like you have to kind of give credit there. He doesn't have these people in his ear basically telling him, like, no, dude, that's not true. Like he does do this.
He lives in an echo chamber.
Exactly. He doesn't.
And then anyone who
dissenting fucking voices.
And then anyone who disagrees with him, he throws under the fucking bus.
Do it.
Yeah,
he feels
these people don't have friends. They have like a checklist.
Exactly.
Like a Mary Sue. In fact, more like a Mary Sue than anything Rey ever does. Because unlike Rey, who does something that almost every Jedi can do at some point with some training.
You mean how she has no... She is not a Jedi.
She didn't have any training!
She thought the Force was a myth. She thought the Jedi were a myth.
Also,
she thought Luke Skywalker was a myth.
Also, if you really want to do this scene, like, then congratulations, you have the mind trick actually fuck him up. I'd imagine you either have to be really subtle for it to be pulled off, or you need to hit just the right spot for it to even, like, function properly. Otherwise, you've just lobotomized that guy.
And also, how the fuck does she even know how to do the mind trick if she thought everything was
because Kylo Ren used it on her earlier.
Once
again, the movie felt like it was being set up that she's a Force siphon. But, fuck me, whatever. I don't know anything about Star Wars.
Well, neither does JJ. You were you expecting JJ know what a Force siphon was?
What
Honestly,
was the? It's in both
It's
KOTOR
Ryan
1
Johnson
and
and
2.
Kathleen
What's
Kennedy that
the?
definitely fucking did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Max, in the like force power sheet for fucking KOTOR 1 and 2. What's the one that's just past force persuasion where you essentially can? Isn't it dominate mind or something where it's like, yeah, you're just like, no, I wasn't fucking asking.
Yeah, it's considered a dark side trait because you're technically no longer like persuading people. You are just straight up telling them what they need to think. Which, weirdly enough,
would have been interesting.
Which was like writing wise for the game makes sense, and like they actually do call you out when you do start using it, and you do get dark side points for it. However, what the fuck did Obi-Wan do?
Oh yeah, like what is a mind trick if you're not just essentially parroting what they're fucking saying?
Exactly. Here's the thing: like you could actually just say, "Yeah, sure, he was using dark side." I'm fine with fucking Obi-Wan kind of fucking saying "fuck the code."
Well, especially at that point. At that point in time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would argue that any Jedi, for the most part, when their back is against the wall, there will be a point where they just go, "Fuck it." No, here's the thing.
You know how you write that? You actually make it so the devout ones never do that, and the devout ones fucking die.
Yeah, they're normally
which
in most stories.
Bad shit. The ones who are willing to fucking put their hands in the fucking dirt, they're the ones who survive. That would actually be really fun.
Yeah, yeah, and how you write most of the stories is that they're normally victims of Vader. Is that they stuck to their morals, like went out in the open, and then Vader just goes, "Oh, you're stupid," and then he kills them.
You're stupid, Lamau. Die.
Die, Lamau. You don't belong in this. Lol.
I remember one of my favorite comics is
not. It is not. Well, it was not by my hand that I rolfed.
Flesh. There was one of the one of those Purge comics where essentially a bunch of Jedi tried to gang up on Vader, and it was just like, oh, you actually think you can kick my ass? All right, try, motherfucker.
Okay. And then Vader said with a really thick Japanese accent, "Yes, but you are clearly outmatched." Avatar's so good.
Jake Sully has done something that's remarkable.
I will give. I actually will give like Disney like half a point. They're responsible for the all I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men. It's like, all right, you actually like under your tenure, actually you wrote a pretty banger line.
Yeah. It's probably the coolest fucking line he has. Like, let's be real.
Na'vi can do it. He feels kind of like a Mary Sue. In fact, more like a Mary Sue than anything Rey ever does. Because unlike Rey, who does something almost every Jedi can do at some point.
No! Why do I have to defend Avatar? I hate those fucking movies. God damn it!
You won't stop watching them.
Fucking trains in their ways. And you actually see a montage of him fucking up and being a shithead. But he eventually learns because he's already had training as a Marine. The only thing holding him back as a Marine is he has no fucking legs. Did you watch the fucking movie?
Of course he didn't. What do you mean?
No, he didn't.
He doesn't watch movies. He watches clips and then goes based off of memory.
Apparently.
Jake Sully has done something that's remarkable even by the standards of the Na'vi, who've had decades of training to do this more than he has. But you don't.
But they're also too stupid to do it intelligently.
They're too stupid and honorable and fucking Matri feelings or whatever.
they're barbaric savages.
Exactly.
Care necessarily, because the spectacle is something you haven't seen before. Because it's visually impressive when watching the film, you don't really think, well, this is kind of dumb, isn't it? If you're shown some...
I mean, I guess, but like that scene is not. That's
you
not.
Could say that. You could also say that about any fucking movie. You could see literally anything in a movie and then just go, "Well, that's a bit stupid." If you downplay everything you fucking see, you nitwit.
something
Oh, that's not
unique,
the
you can
N-word.
forgive bad characterization. This is why, despite each Avatar film having essentially the same plot, I'm gonna guess Ash and Fire does too, I'm sure that won't age badly, you're left seeing something distinct. Again, the first one focuses on the air tribe, with flying beasts and battles in the sky. The second focuses on the ocean, and the third focuses on volcanic ash and fire. All of it
Actually, no,
ultimately
it
serves
didn't.
one core point.
I mean, to be
It actually didn't.
to be
It
fair,
actually really
that
did not.
oh yeah, to be fair, this was made before that movie came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that what
it is
there was.
kind of funny
Hey,
how they're just like,
the evil Xenos girlfriend used a flamethrower, so that counts. Haha.
yeah, it's like, oh, Earth, like we've got sky, water, not fire, because we're going back to the water, kind of.
Yeah, we need to bring back the fucking whales. The whales with the immortality juice in their brain.
Whales with the, I was about to be the immortality juice.
Man, God, I hate this movie is just stupid.
To show you something each time you hadn't seen before, taking a familiar element and a familiar world and showing you it from a new angle. And the sequels for Star Wars, outside The Last Jedi, didn't do that. Though some people might argue The Last Jedi showed them too much they hadn't seen before, and that bothered them. But again,
No, it was because it was done horribly, Tony. You can put your fucking salty ass TLJ fanboy flag away. It was because the movie was dog shit, garbage, awful. Just shut the fuck up about it and move on. Everyone else has moved on besides you.
Do you think one day they'll finally just say, you know what, it was just a bad movie? Like, I wonder,
Didn't
like,
that one,
years
didn't
from
that
now.
one gay guy say that? Fucking the one who says you're watching movies wrong or whatever.
Oh, Patrick Willems? I don't know.
No, Patrick Willems really hated Tross. That's what destroyed his view of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's like, of all the movies, like, Tross is not a good movie, but it's like, that's what you destroyed your faith in the franchise, not TLJ. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not that interesting.
I digress. But then there are films that sell you on the concept based on the plot versus those who don't. No one watches Godzilla films, for example, for the plot. The plot's not...
Oh god. Oh god. Here
Oh
we
fuck.
go.
Oh fuck.
Oh shit. Hold him down. Hold him down. No. I need 20 cc's of fucking muscle women stat.
I actively dived away from my desk just for the bit.
You cannot say that when showing 2014.
Fuck.
When a large focus of the movie is the plot about Ford getting back to his family as the monsters are heading to San Francisco, primarily because the Mutos have awoken, and that's where they're going to converge and meet because they woke up on opposite sides of the planet, and that's where they're going to lay their fucking eggs. And then Godzilla hears it because the Mutos, they're like tarantula hawks, and they lay eggs inside of creatures like Godzilla. He's going to kill them for his own self-preservation. Stupid fucking illiterate piece of shit.
Yeah, but big kaiju fight.
Good.
Just don't ever talk about Godzilla again, you piece of shit.
My pet's name
out your fucking mouth. And yes, there are people who don't watch Godzilla movies for the plot. That's why you had a bunch of retards, dribbling fucking morons, fucking inbred pieces of absolute dog water.
Well, calm down there, Hassan.
that went to Godzilla -1 and complained, why dare humans talk? Where monster go boom boom? As it, these fucking, I can't even call them tourists because there's like a bulk of the franchise is just retarded nonsense. That's the frustrating thing.
The majority of the franchise.
Yes,
now.
It's the majority of the franchise is retarded nonsense, with a couple of them being really good, with Godzilla against Mechagodzilla being the perfect combination of decent character stuff, relatively consistent, coherent plotting, pretty decent monster action, and then Tokyo SOS fucks it all up, but that's a different conversation. Okay, all right, let's see if he says anything else.
I mean, granted, there also are ones that, while having a weird plot also are mainly just there to justify the fights. That's literally what Final Wars is.
Final Wars is
for the
incoherent.
most part.
Final Wars is incoherent nonsense. Don't get me wrong. I love Final Wars. It's like my favorite bad Godzilla movie. But like it is pure high octane crack. We need to watch it again soon.
In fact, I would.
Godzilla versus Megalon,
I would.
My favorite one.
That one's pretty cash. Not gonna lie, that one's pretty.
Yeah, because fuck it, Jet Jaguar. He could just turn giant now. Why? Fuck you. Who cares? Whoop his ass. Jet Jaguar. It makes no sense. Why can he just get bigger?
Why can he? It's like he can also fly, and then Godzilla's just
fly because he just Y poses on the haters.
and then one day. And then someday Mothra will actually be useful in these movies.
Don't worry, she was useful in Godzilla and Mothra Battle for Earth. And the Rebirth Mothra series, she was useful.
Let me guess, she died in that in that movie though.
No, she didn't die. She did not die. No, Batra died, but her and Batra dumped Godzilla into the ocean because that's totally going to get rid of him. Great work. And then she flies into space to stop a meteor that's going to hit the planet because Batra was supposed to destroy it, but Godzilla killed Batra, so she's going to go destroy it. And then she carried Godzilla cells on her into space, which then became Space Godzilla.
Oh yeah, Space Godzilla.
Wait,
yeah.
hold on. I'm still. Wait, hold on. You threw Godzilla into the ocean. That's where he goes most of the time.
No, it's okay. It's okay. They dropped him into the ocean, and then they put like a weird magic seal over where they dropped him. It's fine. He'll be back like in 2 weeks instead
big.
of
He'll
1.
just go around it.
No, don't worry about it.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
There's nowhere else to go.
There's nowhere else to go.
He's a stupid fucking lizard. He doesn't understand that. He's a stupid fucking lizard who can fly and do drop kicks.
and knows how to play basketball.
Want that.
True. Because you learned from Charles.
You know what?
Exactly.
The next Godzilla movie, like to come out of Legendary, I believe is who holds
It's Supernova. That's what it's called.
I want them to just go.
Oh, it's gonna do Space Godzilla.
I want them to go full retard.
I think so.
Like,
oh boy, or Space Godzilla.
I can't wait to point a gun at Jake and go, "We're gonna see this fucking movie, Jake."
I don't want to watch it.
No, think it do it for the content.
I said on my last video I'm not doing any more because the last Jake, one fucking killed me. It killed my soul.
There's a chance they could be good, man. Come on, let's go see.
No, there is no chance. Like, the only way it can be good is if it literally ignores everything besides like the first 2 movies. Yeah.
What if that's how the movie starts?
Like if it starts with like literally retconning King of the Monsters through New Empire, then sure, fine. I'll go see it. But but if it like tries to reaffirm itself as no, those movies are canon, and it's like, oh boy, what are you gonna contradict next? The world is fundamentally broken. It does not make any sense. There is no saving it.
The movie just starts and it's Godzilla like looking at the camera, going, "Don't." It just shows Godzilla turning to the camera and goes, "Don't worry, Jake. These movies aren't canon anymore. Like, we've now changed it so that you'll like it again. We did it for you, Jay." And then Godzilla smashes his hand through the screen to touch you on the heart.
I was going to say, like, no, it just turns to the end of Evangelion where it says, "We did it for you, Jake," and they'll just start clapping.
It's like, congratulations! 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 Oh, God, alright. Alright, let's see what this asshole has to say. Please don't have anything else to say.
You might want to back it up so you can get that fucking point again. Because I know you were seething in fucking
pulls an iron... And then he pulls an iron giant and looks to Jake going, "You stay. I go."
And then he just run as he just fucking starts fucking flying. Okay, look, those movies would be saved if fucking Godzilla flew.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Like,
I'll admit.
The original thing the original thing I was going to mention is, like, I don't think Supernova would be so bad on a subjective level if they did just say, fuck it, he does the drop kick and then he just starts flying and playing basketball. Just fuck it. Make them stupid.
What do you mean, make
so we
them
can all just
stupid?
point and
They're
laugh. Yeah,
already stupid.
No,
They're...
well, they're already stupid, but they're, like,
Make 'em
boring, bad stupid. Yeah, let's actually, like, because, what was it, Ryan Wingard, the fucking guy who
Adam
directed the
Wingard.
last one, he was just like, oh, we're
Adam
huge
Wingard.
Adam Wingard, who, like, he's like, oh, we're huge Godzilla fans with how, like, silly everything is. And it's like they proceeded to not really be that silly.
No,
Like,
they took themselves like 80% serious, and then but 20%, it's like the most retarded shit imaginable. It's insincere silly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, because, like, you can be stupid but actually enjoy it, like, and, like, do, like, a little tongue-in-cheek, but then it's just like, oh, no, we're probably better than this, so we're gonna, like, in spite, try to make it silly.
Yeah, like, if I went to the director of Godzilla Final Wars and I said, okay, so what was your logic behind the Exilians wanting to, like farm humanity for as cattle because they need the cells in their DNA in order to live, but then Ozaki is like a weird mutated thing and he goes Super Saiyan. What was your logic behind that? And he would just go, I watched The Matrix.
Just dope.
No, what he would actually say is, I don't understand what you're saying, and he'd say it in Japanese because you talk to him in English.
It's like,
what's that line from, like, Family Guy, where it's like, well, you don't say QRS, you would just say QRS. It's like, wait, you speak English? No, just that part, and then this part explaining that. Wait, really? Okay.
Okay.
Let's not forget, like, now granted, Final Wars does have the best character in all of Godzilla, General Gordon, played by Don Fry. You'd hit a woman? Yeah. Slaps her.
Films that sell you on the concept based on the plot versus those who don't. No one watches Godzilla films, for example, for the plot. The plot's not important, except for Godzilla -1. That one is a good plot.
Fuck you! Fuck.
Just that one.
The original one.
Fuck
The original
you.
one has a good plot. GMK has a decent plot. Godzilla against Mechagodzilla has a decent plot. I'll defend 2014 having at least a coherent, understandable plot. Even if you want to say it's a bit boring, whatever. It's at least understandable. What else? Godzilla 1985's plot is like okay-ish.
By the way, when they do this in Godzilla Supernova, it needs to look just as goofy as this. It needs to just show Godzilla like almost like
it's not going to be the same because it's going to be
it's
going to be a CGI model. It's not going to be the same.
No, specifically turn it into a guy into a suit for this shot.
Just for the drop kick, it turns into a guy from the suit.
Okay, that would be at least worth that would be worth at least watching the scene.
I would die of laughter if that happened.
I'll be the sacrificial lamb. I'll go see them in theaters, and I'll let you know. It's like, okay, all I'll say is, Jake, it's worth it, and that's all I'll say.
Okay. I'll take. All right, I'll go to 1, 2, 3 movies then.
Oh, damn it.
Do you watch it for the spectacle of seeing Godzilla fighting a new kaiju throughout the MCU and other superhero films?
I mean, why can't you watch it for whatever?
There is a balance
It's the fact
of plot.
that that's the backup too. Like he drops kick and then goes backwards. Like
yeah,
like
because he has to do it again.
Wires that he's on swings backwards.
Yeah, he has to do it again.
Character, but the selling point is ultimately the spectacle of the combat, and if you like the hero, seeing a new adventure your hero can go on. It's not the specific events of the plot that drive you to the theater, but rather seeing Spider-Man, seeing Batman, seeing Superman. What?
Speak for yourself, motherfucker.
Okay.
Yeah,
it is speak for yourself. Like, I don't go to a Batman movie just to watch Batman just beat Batman, whatever that fucking means. I especially don't see that for fucking Superman. I want to see a fucking character study. Like I want to see Peter Parker like actually have to go through something and not just immediately have to punch his way out of it or go through some contrived nonsense that it means he's got girl problems that he can easily solve again. Like you're trying to sell almost all of these stories short in a way because you're saying that. Like it's just all for the spectacle. It's like
I have to be bad faith to make my point.
Yeah, he's just like immensely fucking bad
He's
faith.
the nerdy version of Hassan Piker.
And like, how many comic book stories do people want to see adapted because of the story and the plot within the story? Like, how many people want to see?
I would kill for the Long Halloween, but in live action. Like, I don't care if it's through Pattinson. Like, if they did it right, I could see him fucking doing this story. Like, and you'd have to work your ass off for it, but I bet you there is somewhere where they could do a David Cornsweet version of the Death of Superman.
Or like, what's so funny about Truth, Justice,
and
what's so funny about Truth, Justice, and the American Way as well. That one too.
I don't want Spider-Man touched. Let him in fact, no more Spider-Man stories for like.
No. We have no.
I want Spider-Man touched by a woman.
No, what we need is Sins Past and have it be Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
No.
Yes.
Also, that doesn't make sense because Norman Osborn dies in the beginning of Spider-Man 2.
Well, then it's Harry Osborn.
So it'd be Harry fucking Gwen.
Yes, and Harry fucked Gwen. Gwen got pregnant and gave birth. Who cares if the timeline doesn't line up?
That's creating a self-sustaining.
Because it makes very little sense. What does that mean? Like, he became the Goblin, and right before he killed Gwen, because he was Goblin for 10 minutes before the end of the movie, and he's like, time to have sex with this random girl that I only know through work.
Don't worry about it. Multiverse shenanigans. The memory spell from No Way Home. There, I fixed it. There.
Sure.
They're doing? That's less important than seeing your hero in action. But what films...
I disagree. It's not seeing your hero in action, it's seeing your hero represented in a well-constructed narrative. I mean,
how stoned do you think I am when I go into a fucking theater, Gramuglia? Like, that I just, want to see the pretty colors and then that's fucking it. Like, do you think I'm still 10?
Like,
that I don't give a shit and I just want to spend my parents' money and watch the pretty colors.
Yeah, because when you think of it, right? Like, how many when you look at the failure of the MCU currently, people really liked Scarlet Witch. And granted, I know WandaVision did well, but at least initially, but no one. I mean, I know Multiverse of Madness did make actually quite a bit of money.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then, well, here's the thing.
Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania didn't do it bombed, and people liked Scott Lang, and it wasn't anyone's favorite, but they're like, I'll go see Ant-Man 2, and then proceed to forget about it.
Well, Jake, that's kind of the weirder part is that you brought up WandaVision. Remember, it's the early episodes that we kind of praise for a little bit because of its homage to old television, how it's kind of being mysterious enough that we don't see the bullshit. But it reviewed horribly, and to the point where they had to say, don't worry, we'll go back to normal superhero stuff in the next few episodes. They had to basically say, don't worry, we'll go back to slop soon.
Yeah.
And then the rest of those episodes reviewed highly.
Even though they were the worst episodes.
Meanwhile, we're just yeah, it was awful. That's why if I were to hold a grudge against any MCU project, I probably would hold the biggest grudge against WandaVision. I'd be like, you fuckers, because I've watched a lot of old school television. We've been watching we haven't watched it in a good few weeks, but we've been watching Columbo, and so watching some old school television is. Yes, we'll put it under that.
Oh wait, that's a fun one. Thor: Love and Thunder performed horribly compared to the other Thor movies, and everyone liked Thor.
Fantastic Four, if I remember correctly.
WandaVision for me personally makes me pissed off because they fucking set up the they set up the crossover for X-Men, and they didn't do anything with it. They turned it into
Oh
a
yeah,
little
remember
dick
the
joke.
fucking narration subtitle thing that said Quicksilver from
As
Fox's
he
X-Men
appears in the
appears?
Fox's X-Men, it's like, oh, so you know what you literally know what you did.
Yes.
And then you had like all the fucking symbols of Mephisto and shit, and then the director is like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Yeah, and they brought in Mephisto for Ironheart of all things.
They just never know what they're doing. It's just everybody's flying by the seat of their pants when it comes to how the MCU functions now.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh my god, they're gonna make a Ghost Rider movie. I'm like, I'm not gonna see it. I know it'll be bad.
Oh, speaking of Ghost Rider, it's time to piss Jake off.
No.
Jubilee and the Hood. That's who's up next
Who
in
the
season
fuck
9 of
is
Marvel
the Hood?
Rivals.
Who the fuck is the Hood?
He's
Oh my god, dude! It took me a minute. I now remember who the Hood is. Why are we getting him over Ghost Rider? What the fuck?
I don't know.
I at least know who Jubilee is from the old X-Men cartoon. Like that, like is weird, but I'm kind of okay with it. I'm not okay with who is the Hood. Actually, no. I don't care. I don't care who the Hood is. It doesn't matter who the fuck the Hood is. Who gives a shit who the Hood is?
I knew they would have that reaction.
Yeah, that's
the
fucking
plot.
stupid.
Those are films like, say, Longlegs, a movie that teased for some time this haunting, enigmatic mystery, or Halloween Ends, which promised a resolution on the long-gestating conflict between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, and both disappointed. What I'm ultimately saying is that these are the films you watch because you want to see the story unfold. Often, films that lean more heavily into their respective genre and tropes are the ones that sell you on the plot to one extent or another. While
Why did you show The Room?
I was about to say that. I was like, really? We're gonna show the Room? What is
The greatest
happening?
movie of all time. That's weird. Okay, would flex for it.
That was just bizarre.
They're apparently, by the way, they're remaking the. Oh.
I thought you were about to say they're remaking The Room. That's true.
Well, they are actually. They're the whole premise behind.
How do you
fix
perfection?
How do you remake The Room without?
So
it
the
being
idea.
shit?
So the idea behind it is that they are remaking The Room, and I believe Bob Odenkirk is playing Johnny, and they only apparently had 12 hours to rehearse the whole thing, so they're almost going it entirely by memory.
Oh. So they're trying to remake The Room by trying to do these really weird parameters. The Room is a one of a kind thing. Trying to
the second it becomes self-aware, it loses all of its
I mean, if you look at Samurai Cop 2, like, they granted the best part of that movie is Tommy Wiseau as the villain.
What does katana mean?
Yeah, it means sword in Japanese.
Sword. No, it means Japanese sword. Don't fucking at me.
But no, like when they tried to make Samurai Cop 2, it's like, oh, the original Samurai Cop. Remember the original Samurai? Yeah, the original Samurai Cop was trying to be genuine. That's what made it hilarious.
Genre and tropes are the ones that sell you on the plot to one extent or another. While others, either long-running franchises, for example, centered on specific characters, a specific world, or genre fare that tries to offer the next thing you've never seen before. They focus on character or spectacle to sell you on the plot. Avatar never sold its audience on its plot. Rather, the core appeal is and always was being transported to a world unlike any you've seen before. Pandora is its own spectacle. The still impressive CG animation, which even over a decade later has few if any tears, is a spectacle, especially in the IMAX theaters. That's why those films always sell out in IMAX, and really nothing else does. I mean, Dune does, but that's another point. And so then the question becomes, what's more important? What people come to see about in the film, or what the film presents to the audience? Audience expectations or artistic achievement?
Why did you play clips of Tremors with audience expectations and achievements? Like, what? Why would
Tremors is a fantastic movie.
It's great, but like I'm confused as to why he was playing those clips in for that specific stuff. Like I don't he's just playing random movie clips. Like
I have to show you Thunderstriker, the guy who voices Kitten in the Emperor Out of Texas Speech. He did a review of Dawn of War 2, and he used this clip from Tremors, but using them as two space marines shooting at Tyranids.
That's amazing. We need, by the way, at some point in time we need to watch Tremors 2, Aftershocks.
Yeah, I saw Tremors 1.
Is it good?
It's
a movie.
It's not as good as the first movie. I like it, but it's primarily because you can see the shift to Bert being more of a main character, and then in Tremors 3 he just becomes the main character of the franchise. And like, yeah, Tremors 3 is not particularly good, but Bert Gummer is front and center as main character, and that's all I really care about. I'm gonna be real. Water
Alright, we'll give him
filtration,
a shot.
water filtration, air filtration. Goddamn sons of bitches.
In perfect cases, they're one and the same. No one in the world comes to a Friday the 13th film expecting Shakespeare, but a lot of people will go to an MCU film.
No one's expecting Shakespeare. Also, playing Freddy versus Jason, when that's like probably the best written of either, like probably the best written movie of the Friday the 13th franchise. Don't at me.
I think that's because it's based off.
That is the weirdest claim.
Because like they actually give a reason as to there's the reason as to why Jason is killing is in Springwood. Is in Springwood, and
I don't think he heard you. Like I was hoping for an answer of that. Is this an adaptation? I thought this was its own thing, and then later got the. I thought it was a movie, and then got the Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. Versus Evil Dead.
Freddy versus Jason versus Ash was a script of a sequel to Freddy versus Jason, but then it got turned into a comic, so it's technically canonical with Freddy versus Jason.
Okay.
And thus the franchise as a whole. So technically,
God, I remember my uncle getting super fucking hyped about that when I was a kid. I was like, "Who the fuck is Ash?" Because I was a stupid fucking kid. I was like, "What? Why are Freddy and Jason gonna fight a fucking Pokemon trainer? That's a little fucked up."
I actually really do want to go on an Evil Dead arc. But that
I have not seen the movies.
That being said, if we did an Evil Dead arc, does that include Ash versus Evil Dead? Because that's like what, 4 or 5 seasons?
3 seasons. 3 seasons. Jesus. 3 seasons of television. It got canceled after season 3.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
The film is awesome in the theater, and then reevaluate it afterwards. They went to see the characters they love and got that, but
I did not get She-Hulk from She-Hulk. Shut the fuck up. That was not She-Hulk. That was some weird interpretation of fucking She-Hulk. Real She-Hulk is nothing like that.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, no matter how hard you push it, I'm sorry, I'm never gonna really get Spider-Man vibes from Tom Holland. Like, outside of Homecoming, where they, for the most part, like, nailed it, but then, like, Far From Home and No Way Home, I'm just like, I'm sorry, to me, at the very least, doesn't give the Peter Parker vibe, which is totally subjective, and I do understand that.
Film sits with them, issues with spectacle or plot start to take them out of their love of the film. Problem is that entertainment is a balancing act of creating compelling plot and satisfying your audience's expectations. As a critic, I tend to weigh the artistic intention as the most important thing. What did the artist try to do? How did they succeed? What got in their way of achieving their goals? This, that, and the other. But audience expectation is valuable too. It's why a film like Longlegs, despite achieving this weird, surreal horror that Osgood Perkins intended, ultimately feels underwhelming. because it isn't exactly the type of film that
I'll take your word for it,
marketing
man.
team
Yeah.
indicated.
Also, like, audience expectation is important, but, like, when it comes to actually reviewing a movie, audience expectation is not as big of a factor, if at all, just depending on what we're talking about. Like, if you want to say audience expectation is, like, a part of it in the sense of the critical reception, if you want to make that part of your review, that's fine. But the actual, like, quality of the piece of media, like, it doesn't matter what the expectation was. People were expecting Transformers 1 to be awful because the trailers were awful, but that's the best Transformers movie.
Also, and that being said, at the same time, artistic intent kind of immediately falls apart if you even remotely consider Death of the Author, where it's like, oh, I don't care what they intended, what it was on the screen.
Exactly. Or you could also say, like, they intended to do this, but they didn't do this because it was executed poorly. That I can kind of see. Like, nobody, like no one is going to, like, watch, like Zack Snyder's goal with Man of Steel wasn't to make Superman a genocidal, psychopathic, pessimistic, absolute fucking piece of garbage. No, what he was trying to do is make a Superman full of self-doubt and unsure of himself. But you know, that was the intent. He failed at that intent.
Fair enough. I guess that's just where like, in my personal view, where it's like I want to look at the film at face value. So, like, depending on what we're watching, I almost don't care what the director was, like, trying to go for. It's like, no, what was, like, so with what you were saying about Zack Snyder, it's like, I don't care what Zack Snyder has to say about Superman.
Neither do I.
What did he put on screen?
Oh yeah, I can totally understand that, but and also, like, maybe it could also, for your review, it could also just be like, you know, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna see what did this author intend, and, like, what they intended to do and how it was executed could also just tell you a lot more about them than they intended. Like, Shad's book tells us a little bit more about him than maybe he wanted it to.
God,
It was. You know, it's funny when I think
Shadow
about
of the
Hollywood-
Conqueror review win.
And I'm not doing that, my dog. I'm not. Like, you kid. I'm not.
Ends or long legs, which are
Welcome
good
to our
films, just
welcome to our first book review. we reviewed Shadow of the Conqueror.
Welcome to Jackass.
didn't provide audiences what they were promised. I think about a scene from the movie Barton Fink. The whole movie, Barton is writing a wrestling script for a studio. It's a simple B picture, but instead he delivers this soul-searching, thoughtful, introspective, character-driven film, and the executive hates it because it's not what he asked for.
Did you go back?
This is a wrestling picture. The audience wants to see
He's talking about this fucking movie again.
Yeah, it's just an example of something. I'm kind of lost, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I felt like
okay, and I'm gonna
the show. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm also gonna gripe on an editing perspective, Anthony. If you're gonna rip from Fandango, zoom the picture in so we don't see it's the watermark. Like this is editing 101. You could just zoom, like even I know to just basically if you want to get rid of the watermark without like trying to essentially airbrush it out, just zoom in a tiny bit. Like it'll still remain full screen, and thus like it's taken care of. It's that easy.
wrestling and plenty of it. They don't want to see a guy wrestling with his soul.
And I just keep thinking, imagine if you went to go see like Hajime no Ippo, an anime like that, and instead you got navel gazing. I guess kind of like The Wrestler.
Dude, don't you fucking don't. So first off, don't you ever say The Wrestler is navel gazing.
Don't talk shit on either The Wrestler
what is
or
navel
Hajime no Ippo.
Well, he's not talking shit about Hajime no Ippo. He's saying that if you went to go see Hajime no Ippo, which is mostly a combat show, and then you got fucking The Wrestler, which is less wrestling and more about like the horrible backstory about it. But can you back it up? Let's just make sure I get that point right.
Yeah, okay.
For
This is a wrestling picture. The audience wants to see action, adventure, wrestling, and plenty of it. They don't want to see a guy wrestling with his soul.
And I just keep thinking, imagine if you went to go see like Hajime no Ippo, an anime like that, and instead you got navel gazing. I guess kind of like The Wrestler. you be disappointed. No matter how good that material is, you will walk away upset because it's not what you thought it would be.
That's fair.
I guess.
On
Yeah.
subjective value, I guess I can agree.
I mean, sure, but like my contention is like navel gazing is also used in a very negative context, and like the wrestler is not navel gazing.
What is navel gazing?
I don't know that term either.
So
people don't know. We don't know what the fuck it means.
So usually it's usually used in line with like pretentious or up its own ass, but I will look up the definition to get a more definitive answer because I only ever heard it used in a negative context.
Fair enough.
While he's doing that, like I was saying earlier, I can see from a subjective value. Like I'd imagine none of us want to go into like, let's say the newest Indiana Jones movie, and then suddenly get like Lord of the Rings. It'd be like, what the fuck am I watching? Like where's Indy? Like what is happening?
No, like we went. No,
it's not
what I see. Expendables fucking 5, and instead of like high octane spectacle, no. We're gonna go see Fast and Furious, and instead of that, we got a fucking rom-com. It could be the best written rom-com of all time, but it's like, dude, we came for the fucking cars, man.
Okay, so yeah, in the context of writing, navel gazing is vapid and pretentious and all that stuff. Yeah, no, the wrestler is not vapid and or pretentious. It is dealing with the cripplingly real reality of many wrestlers, specifically from the 80s.
Yeah. No, that's what he's saying. Oh shit! What's navel gazing again?
It's pretentious and self-absorbed, and like it is entirely negative. It is a negative context.
Without whether or not he meant to, he did kind of just call the wrestler pretentious.
Yeah, it is not pretentious at all. It has a lot to say, and it is not a good sit through in terms of like.
Yeah, it's awful. Again, it's like the one that was like superseded was that other fucking one you showed us, Iron Claw.
Iron Claw,
that
yeah.
shit was fucking
Iron Claw,
awful.
yeah.
Because but the thing is, Iron Claw is talking about like an actual real life tragedy as well, which is like another layer to it. But with the wrestler, like the movie ends with Randy the Ram like having this massive cardiac arrest or like his heart attack in the ring
one more time.
Yeah, because
it's never. Well, we never see him have the cardiac arrest. By the way, it ends.
With him diving off the top rope.
If you do this, your signature move one more time, it will kill you. And like the guy's like, okay, man, you got the high spot, just go for the cover. And he goes, no. And then he goes for the fucking jump, and we see him mid-air, and then we get credits.
Yeah, because.
So we don't. So it's left open, but like, yeah, it's heavily implied he dies there.
Yeah, because in many ways, like these guys from the 80s and the 90s as well. Because Undertaker had this in his documentary, the Last Ride, phenomenal documentary series. You should all watch it. It's about leading up to his last match. It's the fact that these guys, it's the cheer of the crowd, just listening to that theme music, getting in the ring. It is a drug. It is addicting.
It's the hypest shit ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally hundreds of thousands of people screaming your fucking name. There's probably no high that will ever come close to that.
Exactly, and like Taker in his documentary describes this like chasing the dragon because he was trying to find the perfect match to retire on, and it's like, oh, I can do this here, and it's like, oh, I didn't like that. I need to do another one, and it's like he does another one, and it's like, oh man, I really like that one. It's on a high note, but it needs to be at a bigger show. It just kind of started. It was like this. It was like a really. There was like a study. It was like the character study of a man. It's like trying to find the perfect ending. And he didn't find the perfect ending, but he found something that left him satisfied enough to finally hang it up. It's a phenomenal documentary series. Everyone needs to watch it.
I like Taker. I'll probably check that out. What's it called?
The
Last Ride.
Is Anaya's.
The Last Ride.
Undertaker is Anaya's favorite wrestler, so we might watch it too.
Yeah. It's not. I wouldn't call it. It's not like rough or depressing, but it is just kind of like just seeing Mark just kind of struggle with this of just trying to find the perfect way to end things. It's just.
I'll tell you that Hulk Hogan documentary was fucking depressing, man.
Because Hulk Hogan lived. The fact that Hulk Hogan lived to 71 years old is a goddamn miracle.
Fucking dude, this is crazy. All right, anyway, let's stop talking about this depressing shit. Let's get back to the actual depressing shit of your channel.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was about to end it with a joke of like, so in the documentary, did they talk about that Terry's penis is not the same as Hulk Hogan's penis. That is an actual like court document, by the way, not court, like a court video of him saying that.
True, because Hulk Hogan and Terry Bollea are different people.
Yeah, sure. I think that was skimmed over.
Yeah.
Right inside that ring, think.
The reason Avatar remains such a relevant film is because no one has ever attempted to do what James Cameron did in that first film. And likewise, the reason Star Wars feels like it's stumbling onward is because few directors...
What do you mean no one's ever attempted to try and make a... Didn't Gareth Edwards
I was gonna say
try
everybody has.
What was it? Was it called Contact, or it was just like this weird sci-fi world or whatever?
The Creator.
The Creator, yeah, The Creator tried to do
talking
that.
Well, no, I was about to say almost every movie, like once you set a trend, there's always going to be films that ape off that trend. We see that tons in video games. Remember that near half a decade or even longer of Halo killers, where that
failed to kill Halo.
Yeah, so like nobody tried to do what Avatar did. Tons of people did. They just failed.
Yeah. They did. And they, like people were trying to implement 3D in their movies constantly, but Avatar actually made the movie in a way where 3D actually kind of made sense in certain areas. And also, they made it for IMAX, and that's why it looks so great in IMAX. Whereas everyone else was just filming every movie was just filming a movie normally, or filming it in quote-unquote IMAX, even though it's not really IMAX film, and trying to put it into IMAX. And even then, a lot of IMAXs aren't even IMAX; they're just bigger screens.
How many times can you say it before it starts to sound weird to you? Because I was already starting to look. I'm hearing it.
Fucking name.
IMAX. That's
like saying hi, Max.
IMAX.
IMAX. You're just saying hi, Max.
Paul Blart. Malaka. Paul.
Also, you want to talk, Paul Blart. You want to talk about like no one's tried to also replicate Star Wars. Like again, everybody tried to be Star Wars. The beginning of Suburban Commando is essentially the beginning of Star Wars. The first fucking shot.
Yeah.
Like it got to the point where they like Wing Commander, The Last Starfighter, like, and then like it got to the point where it's like fuck it, we're just gonna make a parody movie, and then that's when Spaceballs happened. Like it's like to say that no one tries to chase a trend with those two films is absurd.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Outside of those working on Andor, choose to move beyond what George Lucas did in that first trilogy. They don't show us anything new.
The Acolyte tried to move beyond George Lucas's trilogy. It just shot itself in the face multiple times. Let's be fair.
In the familiar, spectacle requires innovation, and to wow audiences, increasingly, films choose not to innovate. They choose the familiar. So stories that should be driven by spectacle leave you cold because you've seen it before. The spectacle isn't fresh. Doesn't matter if the plot and characters suck, which they do, because Avatar remains relevant because of its visual technique, because Cameron remains the top of the game in that regard. And it's not the effects guys' fault for this either, because.
So I'm gonna actually. I don't think it's gonna immediately diffuse his point. I am, however, going to counter with like.
No, you.
A little movie called Tenet, which did try to innovate like with its use of stunts and kind of shit. Like they actually rammed a fucking plane into a hangar for a lot of the stunt work involving in that scene. But the plot is nonsense. Like a lot of people say, like, oh, COVID is why Tenet didn't do well. Tenet didn't do well because it was a bullshit fucking movie that had a dog shit plot.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Inverted bullets do more damage.
Also, didn't have characters either.
The literally named protagonist. I've never been more pissed at a fucking character name.
It's stupid. It's so awful.
It's very stupid.
Like I said, his name fits him because he was fucking bland as shit.
And also, I do
And
think
then,
at some
like,
point in
when
time, the
they-
plot and
they also-
characters sucking does matter. Like,
Absolutely.
It matters from moment one. If we don't, like, there's times where it can be cheesy and still be good. Like Commando has one of the cheesiest openings of all time, of Arnold just hanging out with his daughter, going like feeding a deer, learning karate, and then throwing her around in the pool. But it also characterizes him as a loving father. So when the daughter gets kidnapped, we then see essentially the rampage he goes on. Like, we've nailed the formula. We just need to not necessarily like stick to it to a T, but at the very least kind of use it as the guidelines that they are.
and also the reason why people, like a lot of films these days, are sticking to the familiar is because they tried to do different things. They just did it so fucking horribly, and the reception was so abysmal that they decided to just fall back on something safe. And people are complaining about that because they want something new. And then you go, well, you had something new back then. Well, yeah, it was new, but it's like saying, hey, you want this new sensation, this new condom? It has nails in it, and it's also covered in salt, and also there's centipede eggs in here as well.
Go on.
I think,
that's
I think
new.
It was like one
but...
of the. I think it was like I don't remember exactly who said it. I think it was Gigi Man Lives who said during his Mind's Eye review, where he said, "I'd rather have another shitty remake of like a 2000s game than an original game like Mind's Eye." And it's just like you're going in the wrong fucking direction. Like,
no, why not just have like
why
another standard remake of a 2000s game? It's like, okay, yeah, at least that'll be good.
Or how about just a new thing that's also good?
True. Yeah, that
Expedition 33 is both new and good.
Look Outside. That game is great.
Because the studio's force effects crews to work tirelessly, revising what they make over and over again, and having to toss everything out over and over again, resulting in lackluster results and inflated budgets. Meanwhile, Godzilla Minus One, specific vision, much less money, better looking effects. Cameron grew up on Roger Corman Productions. He figured out how to make spaceships for Corman using McDonald's styrofoam containers painted chrome. He created a room of endless military pods and aliens because he used a basic mirror trick. There's only like 6 pods in this shot. The rest, it's all just mirrors, making it look like they're more. Taking very little, with very deliberate filming techniques, making it look massive. He took something cheap and made it look massive. Cameron is meticulous and knows what he wants when he starts. And
this has just turned into a video about Avatar. This isn't
Also-
about why plot
also,
doesn't
like-
sometimes doesn't matter. This is turned into a video about Avatar. The fuck is going on?
Also, like, congratulations. Yes, like, Cameron was able to do some of these, like, camera tricks and all that stuff. But it also doesn't just go the credit to Cameron. It goes to the set designer. It goes to Stan Winston for helping out with the creature design. It goes, like, there's so many other moving parts. This doesn't go entirely to Cameron.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine? Terminator probably would not be the same cultural milestone that it was back then if it didn't have Arnie. If it went for the original, like, I believe it was Lance Hendrickson, they originally wanted as the machine, the T-800. It's like, oh, that probably would have, like, gone across very differently.
Yes, incredibly differently. But I still, like, we've gone from, like, talking about sometimes plot doesn't matter, and he gave one example that at least we can all, like, definitively say that, yeah, it kind of doesn't matter in The Big Lebowski. And then he spent so much time talking about Avatar and Star Wars, which I understand if you want to make those your 2 main examples, but you haven't tied it into why sometimes the plot doesn't matter, because God fucking damn it.
Well, he spent, like, most of it talking about Avatar, Star Wars, and then, like, some irrelevant, like, indie film that none of us have seen.
Exactly, because he's and that one book series that we have no idea about. Because again, he's so well read, he needs to show it off to us.
Yeah, of course.
gets it. Movies like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Dude, you can do another take. You can cut that out. You can edit that out. Ant-Man.
look cheaper than Avatar
Ants.
because of this tossing everything out
I was
mentality
gonna
of
say,
studios.
like, imagine if, like, you would make your videos so much more entertaining, Anthony, if, like, yeah, you included that fuck up and then just cut to a split second of that of Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas just ants. It's best ad for a fucking superhero movie. I love that trailer so. Imagine that's just how most movies just advertise themselves. Just every time you just like we gotta have the new Spider-Man movie, so we just have Tom Holland and Zendaya just spiders.
Spiders.
Spider-Man.
A legion of mechanical spiders.
Have. We'll
Yeah,
fix
just
it
like
in
Gary
post
Oldman
and not have a deliberate
advertised.
idea of what we want to do early on. As a result, you get these rushed ideas and rushed components where the background feels disconnected from the foreground, where characters are floating in CGI wastelands as opposed to existing in CGI rendered realities. If Hollywood is going to deliver spectacle, it needs to stop
Right.
appealing to nostalgia and offer craftsmen the chance to produce something.
What does this have to do with sometimes plot doesn't matter? What does nostalgia have to do with oh my god.
Ironically, he has lost the plot.
You have lost the plot. You have lost the plot of your own video essay.
But you 0 points and God have mercy.
Extraordinary. Or, you know, get better scripts that
Simple no would've
prioritize plot,
sufficed.
character, and spectacle in even amounts. There are thousands of screenwriters.
The Blacklist 2025.
Fuck you. You don't get to suddenly say just write better scripts after all this shit you've been doing. Like, we can say that because we, at the very least, have analyzed these scripts and these plots, like, and break them down and just simply go, yes, they need to just write them better, like, adhere to character moments a lot better. And, like, you can't just suck off, like, things like the
Last
sequel
Jedi.
trilogy and then go, they just need to write better.
No, he only sucks off the Last
I'm talking
Jedi.
about this video. He
sucks off the Last Jedi. He doesn't like Tross or TFA that much.
Jesus Christ.
Also, yeah, Anthony, your scripts for these videos also are fucking dog shit too, man.
In Hollywood producing spec scripts that are critically acclaimed but never get purchased by big studios because studios increasingly refuse to take a risk on untested talent. But some of the best scripts of the decade, from The Menu to Promising Young Women, were based on spec scripts written by screenwriters, not requested by producers.
When I eat your food, it tastes like it was made with no love.
Oh, this is ridiculous. We always cook with love, don't we?
You're kidding yourself.
If Hollywood
Careful,
hopes to
careful, just a
survive,
second.
Yeah, that was dangerously close to copyright.
If it's copyrighted, I'll just fight it. It's fine.
in an increasingly competitive landscape.
Also, like, waited. I thought that was. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Continue. I'm sorry.
Needs to innovate. Unfortunately, by all accounts, with the big studios anyway, they are not.
I don't get.
Okay, so
This means much to you.
is it done?
Yeah, I can tell you some stories.
Okay, it's done. So that was truly awful. However, it wasn't the worst video we've watched. But it's still really of his, I should say, but it's still unimaginably bad. Because by the end, it just talks about studios taking risks on certain, like, you know, certain things, rather than sometimes plot doesn't matter, but he completely loses the plot, like, into his video. He had, like, one, fuck it, well, I'll even offer him, like, the three examples, Racerhead, Big Lebowski, and Tetsuo the Iron Man. Fuck it, let's give him those three examples of the plot not really mattering. And then he goes on about Star Wars and Avatar, and he gets The Force Awakens just objectively incorrect, and then it gets Avatar incorrect somehow.
How does he come across as somehow, like, so ADHD riddled? Like, than even us two Tismoids and then the skeleton.
Because he's not good at writing his scripts.
Is it script?
That's why you redraft.
Well, here's the thing. I think he does redraft.
Say it ain't so.
He's not doing a good job.
No, he doesn't do a good job at all. Like he has some of the most consistently dog shit content I've seen. I've seen 4 of his videos so far. The 3 I've covered on his channel, and the YouTube Critics Are Lying to Yourself video, which even Anthony admits that video was awful. He admits that video was terrible. So even if we exclude that, like the 3 videos that he probably considered to be 3 of the videos we saw that he considered to be better than that one have all been consistently terrible, poorly scripted,
but he'll still point out,
and oftentimes utterly dishonest and disingenuous.
I mean, he'll still point out that the YouTube Critics Are Lying to You video had more views than the EFAP. Like he'll still. Like even if he's said like that he doesn't like that video, he still lords it over people's heads.
Oh yeah, it's like this. So you know the 7-hour stream VOD on the second channel that got like 170,000 views, which is very, very good for a 7-hour stream VOD. Yeah, no, mine had like over 400,000 on my main channel video. That's like 40 minutes long. Because these are totally comparable things.
It's kind of why it's why for the most part I don't like Gramuglia. Like
no, he's
like Birdman.
He's
just a prick. Like at the end of the day,
yeah.
He's whereas Birdman's just an asshole that just treats you like garbage. Gramuglia like he lifts his nose to you. Like he would rather not breathe the same fucking air as you because he's just better educated. He's he wrote articles. He does all of this stuff as opposed to somebody like us that just make reviews on the internet.
Yeah, even though he does the same fucking thing. But yeah, he's a pretentious hack that honestly his popularity is undeserved. Like completely. And this not even getting into his own like behavior that he has on Twitter and this weird sort of like, oh my god, EFAP's so scared to respond to me. They only did it once. And it's like, I'm not watching their response at all. It's like, well, I thought you wanted them to respond to you, dude. Why are you getting all bent out of shape?
Well, he has to bend some way. Can't really bend any other way.
True. He's so politically brain rotted and caught into culture war nonsense that he'll. And I guess this is the one time I'll bring up the Utterly Noah stuff since we're near the end. He'll like completely go, oh, it was a citation issue. No, it wasn't, Tony. You know for a fact it was plagiarism. Don't you fucking lie. Don't you lie your little ass off. But thankfully it's over. That's it. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Does anybody else have anything to say they want to say?
Fucking didn't.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had a gay old time.
I played Powell this entire time. I've had a fucking awesome time.
I played a little bit of Windrose. Like I was having fun with it. It's basically Valheim, but pirates. I guess shill our stuff. We are very but slowly surely doing a playthrough of 007 First Light. Let's see what else. Did we ever commit if we're going to do an episode on Digital Circus?
I don't know.
I'd like to at least, but
I'd like to too.
That's a conversation for another time.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.